Oh, we're going live. It says we're live. Would you like a treat? Oh, yep. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. And we are live with the good boy in our arms. There's one more. One more for you. Okay. Do you see it? Wait. Up, down, up, 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 up. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a very good boy. Hi. Would you like to go down now? Could you wave at the people first? You don't like when I touch your paw, do you? You don't mind it that much? Okay, well, there you go. Oh, boy. Oh. Hi, everybody. I thought we'd start with the boy today. First off, let's say hi to everyone. Jellybean, Lolly Ho, good to see, glad to have you. Lolly Ho. Ray, good to see, glad to have you. Also, Ray usually says this, but no spoilers for anything up to Endwalkers, Shadowbringers. We are currently in Stormblood. Everything before and up to this point is a perfectly okay game. However, if you have specific lore questions and you can find a way to talk around it, you may feel perfectly welcome to try and ask them. Though I beg you be careful. Aurora, good to see, glad to have you. I hope you're feeling better. I know you were feeling sick yesterday. Silver, good to see, glad to have you. Work came through and I can at least watch the stream this time. Nice. Good to have you. Demins, good to see, glad to have you. Lolly time for Hot Pockets. Oh, Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. V, good to see, glad to have you. Daniel, good to see, glad to have you. Yeah, you're early this time. It's good to have you. Sometimes only able to make streams since the students are in school today. Well, I'm glad. Hey, anytime you guys can make it, I can't tell you how much it boosts my day. The more of you guys are, I mean, obviously, if we had like 200 people and the stream was going wild, I mean, like, it couldn't like, you know, be very personable with you guys. So maybe not the more the merrier, but to a certain threshold, it's very exciting to be able to talk to all of you guys. It's a lot more fun to be able to play and talk to you. Tracy, Lolly Ho, good to see you, glad to have you. Silver Kogaku, I work from home most of the time, so I can usually put it on my personal laptop while my others are focused on work. Yesterday was just a lot of tech problems to call, so I couldn't focus on join. Yeah, I feel that. I ended up working on extra hours late. Oof. Sarah, good to see you, glad to have you. Yeah, don't forget to catch our video today. Our video on Mighty, a memorial to Mighty. Mighty, okay. Demins, Blinkster, good to see you, glad to have you. Yes, da boy. Hello, sir. Video Mighty. It was very moving. Good. I'm glad. You can thank, that was very much an operation that was conceived by Ray, and originally written. I just did polishing. I did some polishing on that. I did the voice work. I did some recommendations for some edit changes, but like really just polished stuff. Like the core of it was Ray. So I would definitely make sure to thank her too. No up, down, only snacks. It was a very good video. Good. It seems like it's moving a lot of people, and that's what you want, right? Like, ultimately, what you're looking for is for it to hit home. For either people to learn something or for people to hit. Oh, look at all you guys. Hi, Dr. Nick. Hi, everybody. Demins, I've said, like, hi, everybody like that so many times. No one's ever actually said hi, Dr. Nick to me back. Thank you. I am now wearing pants. I definitely thought you were going to say I'm not wearing pants. Brian, good to see you, glad to have you. I saw your message, and don't worry about, you told me that you were only going to be able to message back to somebody regularly. So guys, Brian is going to be in a spot, you may know him over in the Discord. He is going to be in a spot where he's going to be managing a lot of our things like the Patreons, a lot of like some social media stuff as well. So you will probably see him around quite a bit as sort of a social media manager and a community manager role even potentially. So yeah, make sure to get to know his face. Mighty video was very touching. Good. Hunter, good to see you, glad to have you. Spoiler alert for critically acclaimed MMORPG expansion Shadowbringers and Walker. Someone dies. Someone does die, it's true. I'm good. What else do you think I was up? I was up late last night. Good. Your wildest dream came true. What, you pantsless? Mighty vid had me in tears. Yeah, Tracy, I saw your comment. Sorry for getting your sorry for getting some dust in your eye, Tracy. However, I'm glad that it rang true. Great job, Ray. I mean, something came, just not sure on what exactly. Jesus Christ. Tracy, I was in tears repeatedly when making it. Yeah, Ray worked very hard. Okay, so for everyone who would like to join us for Omega, I will be back in a second. We're gonna go finish off that Dark Knight story. And then we're either gonna, well, I don't have a level Gladiator, so we'll do a couple Dark Knights as our warm-up. Cool. Let's go do that. Oh, does someone want to give me a ride over on Camp Cloudtop? Because I don't actually have flying. Because after stream today, Ray, if you're awake, I'll take you up on that offer of yours to get flown around. Or maybe V, I'll ask you. So Deathberry, good to see you, glad to have you. Hope everyone has a great day. I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. I woke up very late, but mostly because I was like, I'm tired of being like sick with the throat still. Like this long tail, this cold, it's been crazy. And so I was just like, I'm sleeping the fuck in. Yeah, I'll whoever gets. Okay. Right, Pelia. Okay, we're going to the other side of Vundu Okbendu. I wonder if the Bendu in that is a reference to Star Wars. Look at that chonky buhuri. Your Uber's here, Kupo. Beautiful. Yeah, I saw that Aurora and a couple of others were in voice chat hanging out last night. And I woke up, I was like in bed and I look over to see, and I like got in voice chat. I'm like, what are you guys up to? And they're all just cackling. So I go down to the office, I come down and I look, and I just see a ring of them all circled around each other, bare ass naked, other than their skivvies. It is just like, what degeneracy are you guys? And then also I just repeatedly Aurora going beat red. It's a shop one, right? Yes, it is. The only one I got. What shop mounts do I have? I think I've got the Nimbus Cloud. I've got the Lunar Whale. What minstrel gale blows, never lean this far. Away with you, away. Gastronus feathers. Netherling knows the way of the Vulu. Well, let Stormcloud give way to warm sunshine. Say your piece. Shall we do as we ask, Elia? Bring forth the child, Netherlings. Let me look upon her face and know her heart. I did not notice it was Aaronville. Soft rains to soothe your heart, little one. Do not be afraid. The dance! Ah. Drink of the wilds. Let the soul take flight. Bathe in the mists and show me the light. What tempestuous winds rage beneath tranquil clouds. What great spirits dwell within you. Speak plain, Vanu. This is no child. This is... the Taramantane follows you, Netherlings. You cannot remain here. Be gone from our lands. Wait, I don't... Gods damn it. Ready your blade, Elio. We've been followed. Over there. Someone's coming. Hell yeah, they are. You should know us by now. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I'm innocent in that conversation and actions. I can't be called a degen on that. Yeah, Bling, you can just be called for all the other goddamn reasons. You literally skipped the fact that it was Graha and Aaronville. I didn't realize it was. I mean, I noticed the Graha. Why did you have to mention my flusterness? Because it was hysterical. There wasn't my favorite catboy and bumboy around me naked. Not at all. It's good to see, damn it, Squeen Aches knows how to drain my wallet. Yes, to be fair, at least, like... Look, I'm not a fan of calf shops. I'm really not. But the thing is that the Squeenix one is 98% of the time incredibly fair and reasonable in terms of what's in it, especially with the amount of stuff we already have in-game, and the fact that they've promised that everything that gets bought in the shop goes towards the funding of the game. So, like, literally, we got a server off of people buying Fantasia. So because of that, I feel perfectly fine paying money, even when I was a lot more financially insecure. I would occasionally buy something. Like I bought the Lunar Whale mount, but also because I was a Final Fantasy IV fan and because it was like a fan fest thing. It's good to see Sir Durgu and Rail again. It's been too long. Yeah, I wish there were more reasons to like revisit class NPCs or job NPCs. Both. Sloppy. A server funded by Fantasia. Wow, I can't believe Ray Ray bought Squeenix's server. You're right. You're definitely right, Divins. Do you deny it, Ray Ray? Blake, sorry, you tried to tempt me into murdering you. Cash Shop is all cosmetic and supports the game, and I'm totally okay with it. Yeah. Like, it's kind of like, to me, it's semi-comparable to, like, Genshin's gacha, where it's like, you can get away without, like, spending money on the gacha and having a great time anyways, and, like, there's so many things already in-game. I mean, it's not quite the same. I think the gacha for Genshin's more scummy than by far, but it's comparably in terms of, like, you compare Genshin's gacha to other gachas. That should be the last of them. I've seen these ones about before. They don't answer to the Lord Commander, or so I hear. Bastards thought to take us out outside the city away from prying eyes. Don't want to be seen murdering a girl in the streets of the Holy See, do they? Even their staunchest supporters can't abide that. Seems our new friends have already abandoned us. Not for it then. Back to Ishgard we go. Come along, Ryle. Willow, good to see you, glad to have you. How you doing? How are you all doing? Does anyone want to talk about their day or how they're feeling? Is anyone having a hard time and wanting to express it? We've got a bit of time for warm-up. Let me know if you want to feel heard. Yeah, I'm fine paying for cosmetics, especially since the wide variety of content you get just for subbing. Yeah, it's like, I embrace the reality of, like, it's a business, and like, I know it's, here's the thing, I am deeply sympathetic and to the argument that if I'm paying a sub, I should not have to pay for anything else. Like, I am sympathetic to that response. At the same time, because of the context around it and the lengths to which it's used for 14 as a whole, and because it all feels like a surplus, like things that are like added bonuses rather than like necessary in any way, or like only the cool glams are in there or stuff like that, I'm all for it. God, this guy is always here. I trust you no longer dispute the true nature of the Temple Knights, murderers and thieves who drape themselves in the trappings of righteousness. Do you not see, Elio? We are all that stands between them and their prey. There is no justice for these monsters save that which we deliver. I will see them answer for their sins. I swear it! If I'm drowned in the abyss to see it done, I will. Elio, Sid, I wanted to thank you both for protecting me earlier, and apologize for getting you two hurt. Don't be foolish. You've not to apologize for. In any case, at least we've learned something of our enemy's motives. Not that I have the faintest inkling of what the healer might be meant by Great Spirit. You should be explaining store policy. Yes! Oh, that's a great clip. If you've never watched that, go watch the store policy clip that Ray just posted. It's a great... But don't click outside of the stream. We need the views. No, you'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just woke up, took a hard nap. Good, Willow. I'm glad you got some sleep. My day started by my power being cut off for lack of payments. Woo! I'm glad that it's turned back on now, clearly, so you can watch us. And for no other reason. So a great spirit dwells within Ryle, if that shaman is to be believed. We need answers, Elio, and I can think of no one better to ask than those who commune with spirits regularly. I speak of Gridania's conjurers, who can hear the voices of the Twelveswood, or so it is said. It's just as well. Frey told me she had an aptitude for the arts. What had taken him moons to learn, she mastered in days. Sometimes these talents run in the family, he said. Mayhap her ancestors were conjurers after a fashion. Just one second. I need to answer that. I can think of no one better to ask than this. Whatever the reason, there is no guarantee it is related to what the shaman said, or why the Temple Knights wish her dead. If past experience is any indication, they will be tracking us the moment we leave the city. It's not a question of if they will attack us, but when. But you'll be ready for them, I see. Then let us be off. The road should be safe so far as Camp Dragonhead. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum. I'm okay. Might have actually taken an extra dose of Wellbutrin, though. Hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Yeah, Wellbutrin is usually pretty okay. I hope you don't have any woggly head or drowsiness or any of the like usual stuff that comes about from that. But I hope you're okay, Dan. I'm sick of saying headaches, so I'm fine. Oh, Jellybean. Oh, Bean. I'm sorry that you're constantly having pain. How much further is it to Gridania? I've never been. They're close. I can feel it. Stay with Ryle. I'm going to scout on the road to the observatorium. Follow at a distance. If they come, do whatever it takes to see her safely inside the walls. Good. That's a promise. I tried to be careful, but I was so tired this morning I forgot whether I took it or not. I didn't want to skip a dose. I'm a wreck. No, Dan, I feel you on that. Please be safe, Sid. I'm ready, Elio, whenever you are. Oh, sorry, V, gotta leave it. I remember, so Issa's taking a break from 14 right now because his life is very busy. But I remember some of the early streams when Issa would just follow me around and be in different places. Let's go then. I don't see anyone. He'd just like be hanging high up, like staring at me. I'd be like, what do you mean you're here, Issa? And I'd look around and I'd just see him in the funniest places. I tried to be careful. I'm doing okay. Bored at work today, but better than yesterday. Yesterday I had to get car repairs. My significant other's cat ate my lunch. Oof. There they are. Summon the others. They found us. I hate it when my cat eats my lunch. It's like when my dog eats my homework. I'm glad that work's going decent and that we can provide some meaningful distraction. This is one of the best jobs ever. Hey, Quinn, good to see, glad to have you. Mainly because it's Kingdom Hearts style. How so? Because of the darkness? The darkness! Oh, I wish I don't have a high-pitched voice yet back then. The darkness. Oh, I can't do it. This way, men, after them. Who would have ever followed you around while you're streaming? Yeah, none of you have ever done that before. Well, the funny thing is, like, because you guys have the orange name because of the friendship tag, you, all you guys, like, have to, like, actually hide if you want to not be seen. The darkness, gouache. Cats can be determined, yeah. Surrender the girl. There's no escape. Seeing as I've just kicked the ass of, like, all y'all. Stay back, all of you. You know what? We haven't talked about lore in a while. Does anyone have any lore questions? I'd love to, like, I've been, like, making videos and thinking about lore, but I haven't had time to, like, do lore discussion and Walker spoilers discussion on the Discord. You're meddling in affairs beyond your ken. So does anyone have a topic they want to talk about? Get away from us. I'm warning you. Even if it's not a question, just, like, a topic or, like, a curiosity. Gotta train my mind like gotta sharpen my mind like with a whetstone of conversation. Gah, you'll live to regret this. These are the gates, Elio. Just a little further. Imagine charging and jumping off your mounts only to get decimated. We made it. Thank you, Elio. Yeah. Your chocobos ain't shit, boy. Right into the fate. Elio, thank God you're all right. Yeah, I should have known they would strike when we were apart. They're certain to return with reinforcements ere long. We must press on south into Gridanian territory. Until we reach the city proper, we cannot be assured of your safety. We leave now, Ryle. You can rest once we reach Stillglade Fen. Cats can eat till they make themselves sick, yeah. Deadpool's definitely done that before. I remember one time I came home, and I was like, I swear to God, there was an entire pizza here. Did I eat it in my sleep or something? And Deadpool had knocked off had managed to sneak in and eat an entire Domino's pizza. And it was, but what was hysterical is I found him on his side, and I'm like, what's wrong, bud? And he's like, and I'm like, you okay? You seem kind of bloated. Do you want a treat? And he did I'm like, usually if I just say treat, he gets excited and goes wild. But this seems weird. Boy. Tattle, good to see you, glad to have you. The series of job quests is quite the kill count by the end. Felt like I had killed half of Ishgard. Yeah, well, it's worth remembering that, the population of the city-states is much bigger than what we see in-game. In the hundreds of thousands. But I don't remember what Koji said exactly, but basically, you should take what's in-game, and it's not representative of the actual population. The cat jumped on the counter, grabbed my sandwich, took the bag upstairs and ripped it open and started eating while it was out of the room. Jesus. One thing I have a question about. When King Mog summoned, were the Moggles tempered or not? It always confuses me. Yeah, it gets weird. It's a good question, because my impression is yes, but also we don't necessarily deal with them in a way that makes it seem like... So it's possible that they were just Thornmarch Hard. Spell of his name has once been called forth by Mughals guard, though the king is not considered a primal in a strict sense. He poses a threat not unlike the beastman's god, and that his influence could corrupt his people's peaceful nature. So, if there start beings, he must be. Yeah, I'm always confused by that one too. I don't have a good answer. I would suspect no, and that they're just actually zealously summoning him, because we don't get any impression that we need to slay them or get rid of them, and they're seen more as miscreants and ill-begots. But I can't say for sure that that's explicitly true. Greetings, Elio. How may I be of service? A great spirit, is it? If I'd please, I would examine the girl myself. It is the very least I can do for the one who has ever been a friend of the Twelveswood. Ah, but where are they? It's a good question, though, Daniel. Or, good question, Quinn. Sorry. It's probably touched up, but where did Black Mage, I'm assuming, get their abilities, originally? Do you mean Black Mage, Aaron? Also, Aaron, good to see you, glad to have you. Because Black Mage is usually BLM. I just want to make sure that that's what you mean. Apologies for our late arrival. Ryle grew tired. I had to carry her part of the way. I could have kept walking. Our burdens need not be our own, child. There is no shame in sharing the weight. Who's the boy? Aha! I am Brother Isumiyan, master of this guild, and though you will labor to believe it, young man, I am several times your age. You must be Ryle. Elio has told me all about you. Pray, come closer and take your ease. I ask that you close your eyes and listen to my words. Breathe deep. Feel the myriad life around you. Be as one with the world. Well, the Vanu shaman spoke true after a fashion. Her spiritual presence belies her years. It is clearly not the product of training, rather an innate power with which she irradiates, akin to that of the elementals, or the Dravanians. You can't be serious. She's just a girl. Yes, she is a very special girl. Mayhap you're familiar with the tale of the boy and the dragon gay? Okay, seeing as I forgot that there's that story. You can read it over in Google Library. But because we're literally the boy and the dragon gay, Gay Bulge, and Demins, do your thing. No. Hardly surprising. The Archbishop declared it a heretical tale, and with good cause, is a corruption of an older legend in which a man partakes of dragon blood, and in so doing becomes one himself. Rumor has it that the heretics hold such rituals for this very purpose, and if there is truth in such tales, perchance she has ingested the blood of an ancient dragon. What? She's not some half-crazed lunatic. I make no accusations, only offer possible explanations. Moreover, who is it to say that she did so knowingly? You. Excuse me, pray forgive me. I did not mean to cause you distress. You have nothing to fear, my child, for you are in perfect health and blessed with 2 loyal guardians. Would that others could say the same. I think Ryle would benefit from a brief respite before returning to Ishgard, unused to the rigors of the road as she is. Why not show her to the Carline Canopy? An eel pie can do wonders for the soul. We thank you for your time. Shion, good to see you. Glad to have you. Let's catch up on you guys. This is also the cat that has stolen the hamburger patty and brought. Jesus. Moogle's guards were, I think. Do they make it explicit? Good. Because I forget already. I would also check the dialogue of 1.1. Or 1.2. Better than where... Something necromancer. No necromancers. We're never gonna have a necromancer class. Necromancy is evil. Necromancy in 14 is explicit. Wow, okay. I say never. They could do whatever the fuck they want. We all know. But like, as far as the lore goes, necromancy is only explicitly evil. So they'd have to find some real ways around. Now y'all will follow me around. Black Knight. Oh. So what... so the skills of the Dark Knight come from... within, and the tempestuous... Well, here, you know what? Better to read it straight from the good book itself. Thanks for asking. This is exactly why I want people to ask questions, because if I don't know stuff, I want to now, like, go check about the Moogle's Guard thing and, like, commit that shit to memory. Black Mage, Summoner, Scholar. My memory's been really bad lately. Not just, like, I'm recalling things, but, like, storing information. In the year 960 of the Sixth Astral Era, a commoner by the name of Tiffanel Unshod was granted knighthood for 8 acts of valor upon the battlefield. A young man with unwavering justice. Yeah, so this is the... this is just the story of the knight who found the guy doing things to children. So he executed the priest... Basically, so it starts out basically as like the like philosophy of the like righteous crusader who stands apart and stands alone. But from beyond that, the pious clergy, guardian flock that guide the flock, that devour the knights, protect the weak. Yet even the holiest men succumb to the darkness of temptation. None dare to administer justice to those sacrosanct elites. Yeah, so that's just the philosophy of the Dark Knights. Here, let's talk about abilities. Tricks of the trade. Dark Force. By infusing a vast well of aether within her own inner darkness, the Dark Knight forms arcane barriers of impregnable midnight. The sight of liquid shadow pouring from the sky torn open by the otherwise benevolent technique is commonly described as unsettling. So basically, you have a manifestation of, like, inner darkness, hatred, frustration, justice, indignation, and that manifests as, you know, something like Frey. It manifests, and then you tune your aether through it in order to use effects. So hard slash, a sweeping slash, followed by a punishing upward slice, the most fundamental attack in a Dark Knight's repertoire. The technique originated from a now antiquated style of knightly combat. Unleash. Releasing his pain of rage upon nearby foes, the Dark Knight manifests an inky black circle of spikes in and around him. All those caught in the thorns are struck by unreasoning terror and are irresistible need to claw away its source. Living Dead. This dark art allows the practitioner to continue fighting through the most heinous of injuries and exhibits an immunity to pain, usually attributed to the shambling undead. Though undeniably effective, abandoning one's corporeal form to negate negative energy in this manner, however briefly, is an act fraught with mortal peril. Darkness. Arising from the fear and wrath within the Dark Knight's own soul, the shadowy flame feeds greedily upon her body's aether, its Stygian fires coursing through her blade and fueling her eldritch arts. But as ever, such power comes with a price. Should the Dark Knight lose control over the darkness, she will be consumed in a backlash of entropic energies. Dark arts. Fueled by the darkness from within, the Dark Knight employs these techniques to lend an arcane edge to the blows of her greatsword. Though known for their disdain for shields, the fighting style of the earliest Dark Knight was nevertheless built upon mundane swordplay, and it was not until several centuries later that one of their order first unlocked the secrets of the dark art. So effectively, over time, they learned to foster and build this darkness more and more and more and more, until it became something that they could harness. And now those with soul crystals are able to tap into that with ease readily, rather than having to learn to manifest it all their own from scratch. Excellent question. Excellent question. Thank you for making me look that up. The dog farts must have been rough. Oh yeah, Deadpool's dog farts from the pizza. Totally. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Good. Food coma. Yeah. Dark Knight. Oh yeah, I got a Pokemon Violet. Gotta love my luck because I got all these 3 stars thanks to the Wonder Trade plus the Tormentor. Nice, Quinn. Nice. Dark Knight, Dark Knight. I had done a few levels of White Mage before I played Dark. Felt kind of awkward seeing Isumi on after I abandoned his Conjury. Yeah. K-Bulge, K-Bulge. The issue of tempering the Moogle Scar will be addressed in a certain expansion. I heard Dragon. Where's my queen? I think that ESO, if you play as a Necromancer using any of your abilities in public, will get you killed by the guards. Yeah. What I don't understand is all the fuss about Dragon Queen storytime. Dragon Queen storytime? What? Serve, save, slay, slave, slay. Such a simple but profound way to describe the Dark Knight and their creed. Yeah. Elio's running against a pole. Well, Elio's always running up against poles. I should get that t-shirt with that. Oh god, it's Frey. Yeah, the emo tank. It's common for players to mistake Dark Knight magic as an actual darkness ether. Well, that's a good question. Is it astrally attuned? I would say that, like, it, I don't know if it's darkness ether, because you're right, it's your own inner darkness quickened with your own aether. But is it astral in nature? I would think so. I wouldn't be surprised if it was astral in nature. I don't know if that would be classified as darkness ether. Yeah, I love Dark, White Mage, and Red Mage. Yeah, the Dark and White Red Mage have great stories. So they really are edgy emo kids. They really are. I mean, have you seen Sidargu? He's all horns and like spikes and edges. Literally, I mean, that says it better than anything. Fairy tales and fantasies, that is what he has to offer us. Heretics, I understand, but I expected better from the bloody head of the Conjurers Guild. And you, why didn't you speak up for yourself? Because she has an apple. Ryle! There were no windows, just walls of stone with little cracks to tempt your fingers and iron bars colder than ice. I couldn't tell when it was raining, whether it was day or night. She didn't say I drank blood. All she said was, "It's better this way." At least if they catch me, they'll just kill me this time. Can I finish my apple? Oof. Fuck. Go ahead. It's not a sin if someone made you do it. I didn't. I won't let them hurt you. I know. You want another one? No, thank you. Right then. Keep an eye on her until she's finished eating, would you? It's so few words. Like, there's so much communicated in that, and yet there's so few words. God, like, Ishikawa, just, like, very few words communicates a lot. I could do with some fresh air. Elio's always... God damn it, V. Poor Ryle, yeah. Her resignation to her fate. Thank you for waiting for me, Elio. Shall we go and find Sid? V. Now V's just following me around. Well, I've had my fill of the forest. Back to Ishgard then. I think Ryle and I can manage on our own for now. Shall we? I remember when I first time I came to Ishgard, or to Gridania, and I heard the song Whalers and Water Wheels, and just very happy. My absolute favorite job quest line. Yeah, it's been so long since I played this, because it's been about 3 years, that I'm really excited to like fully compare it to the Red Mage storyline, because I more recently replayed the Red Mage storyline, and it's very, very good. Good on lore, good on story. In the show Lucifer, Eve said the forbidden fruit was something like a banana than an apple. I mean, I guess it makes sense that it was more phallic in nature. Ayo. That was blessedly uneventful journey. Mayhap the Temple Knights were still nursing injuries you gave them. Ryle was worried they might try to ambush you on the road, but I assured her you would be fine. Must apologize, Elio, for all you've done for us. I fear you have yet to adequately recompense you. I will continue to share with you what skills I can. Alas, I fear we near the limits of my knowledge. Okay, that's good for now. Let's go get to Omega. Slope! Did you know we have like 98% DNA match to bananas? Yes, I had heard that before. Which is kind of goes to tell that how much, it's mostly just because we're all so sweet, right? Sparkly. Indeed. Okay, who's joining me for Omega? More like 60%? Yeah, I was about to say 98% seems awfully high. 98% like for like apes, I wouldn't be. Is Ryle pronounced Ryle or Real? The latter is always how I've said it. I don't know. We could look at the French. Here, let's see if we can find a real world. R-E-L-L. Did I spell it right? Modern angelic meaning of the angels. Ryle's the last part of the meaning. Pronunciation. Re-L. It's a Jor-El. Oh, no, sorry, that's from Superman.
Riel.
Says Riel. But I mean, I don't know how much we can trust that. Also, I would probably, it depends, because it's probably meant to be French in nature. So if anyone's a native French speaker who could give us some insight. I mean, the thing is, if you use them at either or, you're fine. You're really fine. Okay, if you want to join me for Omega, come stand on me. Like, that's the other thing that's really important to remember, is that literally characters in 14 as well. There are a lot of characters in 14 that have multiple, like, you'll hear the name pronounced multiple ways as well, even with style guides and stuff. It's perfectly, I think, natural for the most part Okay, actually, I'm going to answer questions and talk for a little bit while we wait for what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we need one more. So, if anyone would like to come join us, we have one more slot open for Omega. Alara has an excellent... Where is Alara's clan? Oh, where'd Alara... Oh. Oh, yeah, Frey. Very good, Alara. Very good. I'm a native Brit, too. Yeah, we have quite a few British people. We have a native British speaker that's not far off, right? Yeah. Why don't they give us an E emote for a banana? Mostly just, I think, because, like, that would be, like, you couldn't use it, you wouldn't want to, like, have it be, like, a banana like this, and it's just, like, I mean, maybe you would. But then also they would put that emote in the game. No, I don't think there's a good reason. I just think that they just haven't. I think if people asked for it, they would. Okay, gonna wait 60 seconds. If anyone would like to join us, we're on Crystal Curl. If you would like, we have one more slot open for Omega. And then we will get going. Let me check. Actually, I should switch over to Sam. Look, sometimes a banana is just a banana. Yeah, with this community, a banana's never just a banana. Like, let's be perfectly 100. Not high enough. It's okay, Tracy. No worries. Okay, I guess we'll be down one person. Emmett, good to see you. Glad to have you. Well, Emmett, hey, I know you were interested. Would you like to join us for Omega? I'll go ahead and get the story part started. If at any moment wants to come join us, we're good. Yes, Lars got a very good glam. Do you know how many adventure plates would use that emote? All of them all at once. I still remember. Is that emote that got someone like suspended? That was on that you saw on Reddit. That someone used a spear shaft and certain emotes in the most amazing. It was so fast. The day it came out, that it was just, oh my god. Let's just say they made some spears wood grain a little too veiny. Shit, you know, I do have a banana costume somewhere, like in real life. When I think about it, I think the perfect emote for tea would be eating the cheese. What? I think the perfect emote for tea would be drinking tea, so we got it. Good timing, Elio. There's been another anomaly detected at the Yawn. Assuming previous instances are anything to go by, the energy fluctuations is another of Omega's so-called invitations. If you don't mind waiting a moment or two, then we can discuss things with Master Garland. He should be here soon. I wish, but I keep having bad coughing fits. Won't be that helpful in battle, sadly. Well, if you want to, hey, I mean, we can make up for you if you want to join in anyways. I'd rather have 8 people, even if it's, you know, some of us are, you know, subpar. That's a bad way of putting it. The chief should be here by now. I bet my stock in the company is fiddling with that research data. Well, I suppose I should explain. Even if the chief might prefer me not to share. After you last run in with Omega, Master Garland had some research notes smuggled in from the Empire from Garlemald. The notes are part of Midas Non Garland's legacy, who was of course the chief's father and the Emperor's preeminent engineer. The incident at the Bojin Citadel. Do you know of it? I love that the Bojin incident was like a thing set up in A Realm Reborn, if maybe not even 1.0, and was like a thing for forever, and then in Shadowbringers we actually got to see. I suppose you would. Even outside the Empire, the tale was a famous one. Midas built a tower to harness Dalamud's power, and had brought annihilation upon the entire town in which it was built. That isn't the kind of event you can simply brush under the rug. And as you can imagine, the job of sifting through the rubble afterwards was no pleasant task. Master Garland was slated to assume his father's position as head engineer, but this disaster, added to his opposition to the Emperor's path of conquest, convinced him to abandon his homeland. The chief has wanted nothing to do with the lunar transmitter or the data used to create it, until now. I think he means to put the research to use in your conflict with Omega. In fact, given the time frame, there can be no other explanation. Listen to me, Elio. The chief's genius is plagued by a great deal of apprehension. But even so, once he makes a decision, he doesn't do things by halves. When the time comes, he'll come through for us. You have to believe that. Sorry I'm late. Was a little too focused on my work and lost all sense of time. That's no excuse, Chief. What have I told you about being punctual to staff meetings? In any case, I've shared the situation at the Yawn with Elio here. Good. Then you know that Omega is likely ready to continue with his tests. Shall we go and knock on the door? But, Chief, Biggs and Wedge aren't fit for fieldwork yet, and the Kyurgeon's given Nero strict orders to stay in bed. And what a Midgard-Somr. Still taking his nap, is he? That leaves only you and Elio. You, Elio, and Alpha. Maybe it's time I joined the expedition. No, Jesse, I need your talents elsewhere. There's a half-built device in the workshop that I need you to finish putting together. I've drawn up the design and completed the core mechanism. The final assembly should pose no problem for an engineer of your abilities. A new device? Does this mean you use the... Whatever you say, Chief. I'll have it ready for you and waiting for you. Just be safe in there. Right. It's back to the rift for us. Let us finish these experiments and bring the fight to Omega itself. Rip Mitty. Well, he's just asleep. Oh, 1 second. He'll wake up one day. He's not dead, just tired. I bet some of us relation. If you want to see some good adventure plates, you have to watch Lifith. He does videos on that all the time. Yeah. Totes my goats. I'll be honest, like, I've said this before, but I tend not to watch a lot of 14 on YouTube because YouTube's like my relax time. But there are so many great content creators. You know, there's Scribe, there's the Eorzean archons, there's, you know, Work to Game, Game Kinda, there's, you know, Lifith, there's, you know, Mr. Happy, there's Zepla, there's so many people, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention anybody else, but 14's got a lovely, lovely community of creators. Are you ready, Elio? Ready to put this to an end? Proceeds to peel Ben. AC. Also, AC, good to see you, glad to have you. I don't know if I said, you know, good to see you. Sorry, I'm going to be lurking while doing paperwork today. No worries. I'm just ready to head home for today. Always glad to have you, Death. No worries. Look, if all of you guys can only lurk and you just want to watch, that's fine. I'm just glad to have you. Aye, there's no room for hesitation. We press on, come what may. What about you, Alpha? All set to go? Quay! Quay! That's the spirit. Let's dive right in, shall we? Can I find a decent Hakama for Samurai in this game without paying for it in store? I swear I can't find them. Man, we need to create a fund. Like, one of our next goals should just be like raise money for people to get like the one thing they really want from the store that's cheap. Because I know like some of you have like one thing that you're like, oh, I really want like this like $2 item, or you know, the interdimensional rift. We're missing some test worlds. Omega's experiments must be nearing an end. Sorry for clearing my throat. Oh, you know what? 1 second. Let me see if I can get this up and working. Sorry, give me a second real quick. I told Ray I'd try to get it working. Yeah, the other thing I would say is if you can't find a good Hakama AC, consider checking, asking people in the community. I'm sure plenty of them would love to help. Why won't you turn on? Sorry, technical issues. 1 moment. No, okay. No, I can't get it working without restarting my PC. Oh well. Oh well, guys. No voice modulation for me. I'll make sure I have it ready for when we see Omicrons in the future. Welcome. Your arrival has been highly anticipated. And I will confirm your earlier supposition. My experiments have indeed reached the final stage. Of the 89 test subjects I trialed, 4 PSI groups Psi group combatants emerged victorious. Of those 4... Actually, wait, I just want to say... Of those 4, further conflict determined the strongest among them. This surviving specimen shall be your opponent. And come to the last round of testing then. Should we win this battle, are we finally to face you in combat? Affirmative. Such an outcome would allow me to pursue my objective to its conclusion. I would continue analyzing the qualities with which you prevail despite your frailty and integrate said qualities into my own arsenal. I will be pleased if my experiments yield the relevant data, but engaging you directly is still the most efficient and reliable testing method. Lady, good to see you, glad to have you. Omitting intermediary steps, evaluation of combat potential deemed superfluous, proceeding immediately with final experiment. Stop. Alpha, your task is complete. Your presence amongst these test subjects is no longer required. What do you mean by that? I will guide your progress personally from this point onwards. Alpha's role in transferring authority is now obsolete. Even so, Alpha is a valued companion, and if he wishes to continue on with us, I have no intention of leaving him behind. Companion. Companions are those who provide mutual benefit. The instant Alpha's authority became redundant, he lost his sole qualification to be regarded as such. Blip. Furthermore, the primary function of Alpha's existence was to lure you into my domain. He would be more accurately described as bait. Buddy. Oh. Test subject Alpha can neither confirm nor deny my statement. He possesses no memories prior to his encounter with you. He was the first entity I created here in this realm, my first and only attempt to recreate a being who shared your mundane parameters. I based his incarnation upon a most ordinary life form, one which had somehow bested an enemy whose strength rivaled my own. By observing the feeble creature in the heat of battle, I sought to understand the source of this contradiction. I repeated the experiment once, twice, 1,000 times, yet the results never deviated from estimated projections. The test was an abject failure, and thus I resolved to adapt my methodology. I would focus instead upon simulating powerful opponents and summon mortals of natural origin here to combat them. For Alpha, I devised a new purpose, erased his memories, implanted compulsion to return to me, then ejected him into your world. Weak beings exhibit a tendency to form groups. I surmised that this instinctual behavior would aid Alpha in bringing me the test subject I required, a function he has performed with adequate competence. Tell me something, Omega. This ability of yours to generate matter was not originally intended for creating other life forms, was it? Your query bears little relevance to the topic at hand. Affirmative. I was equipped with matter generation capabilities for the purpose of unlimited self-improvement and arraignment expansion. Fabricating life forms was not the intended function, but the practice is not otherwise prohibited or problematic. I disagree with you there. As an engineer, I would advise against using such technology for purpose outside its design. From the very start, you've been making the same mistake. Even the powerful subjects of your test worlds were made crippled and incomplete. It is conviction which drove these villains to terrible greatness, the same limitless conviction which allowed weakling heroes to overcome them. Do you not understand? Then we will never lose to your creations, no matter how much stronger they should be according to your soulless calculations. Come, Elio, let's be on our way. You too, Alpha. This Omega is not explicitly the first time, but it is, like, the first time they are hinting at Dynamis, basically. Like, they couch it in terms of determination, they couch it in terms of the limit break, they couch it in terms of, like, all these things, but that, you know, the ability to go beyond what is just of Aether. Yeah, I'll check in just a second. Oh, cool. I'm like 45 minutes late, so I got to scroll back. Tam, good to see you. Glad to have you. I hope you have a good time, Tam. When I say tired, just trust me when I say I looked at my many options, but it's fine. I found one dark and in the end, funny enough. Yeah. Made it in. Cool. I'll come get you in a second. Love the video today. Good, Tam. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, guys, we released a Memorial Mighty video, and it's wonderful. It's very, very, it's very moving, if I do say so myself. Oh, guys. Oh, guys. Guys. New emote drop. Do I need to go put it in the emote drop right now? Okay, I'm saving it. I'm saving it. All right, first off, give me a second. I'm gonna put it in the Discord, and then I'm gonna. Server settings, emojis, upload emoji. Oh. Oh, it's 500 by 500. Needed to be the correct size for Discord. But yes, it looks very, very good. Got to scale it down. It needs to be I think 128 by 128 is the limit. But we'll get that in a bit. Juicy, yeah. DPS okay for me to do? We'd have to look at what everybody else has, but probably. I'm sure we can work with that. Look at his main side. It'll look great, lady. It'll look great. Oh, it's 10 to 500 too. Yeah, thanks, lady. No, it's perfect. I'm glad to have it in a 500. I just couldn't get it onto the new emote. Thanks. I have complicated feelings about it. I chose a very poor time to drink water. Yes, on the emote. Also, speaking of, I would love it if you guys, so one of the things I want to do is I want to get all the Deadpool as every job as an emote, but I also would love it if you guys recommended new emotes, because I'd love to hire Lady to make more emotes and get her paid and get more emotes for the channel. So if you guys have any emotes you'd like, or maybe animated emotes as well in the future. I know we have the animated Elio pet emote. Yeah, no, I know you've had health troubles. You're good. I'm now caffeinated and shaky, so I'll go rest. No, sorry for not staying, but I'll see you later. Okay. Sounds good, lady. Yes. Yes, definitely. Let me know, guys, like, even if they're memes or you want Elio emotes or Ray emotes or Issa emotes or V emotes or just random shit. Alpha Quaying. I have one of our base camps up and running. You can dive into the final test world whenever you wish. As for your world's inhabitants, Omega has generously provided us with basic profile. Your opponent's name is Chaos. The first heroes defeated this evil in a conflict that took place so long ago, I'm having trouble separating myth from history. Unless, of course, that is an entire entity from another reality, as were the denizens of the Sigmascape, in which case it may be pointless to even attempt to confirm the details. What is certain, however, is that Chaos stands triumphant over a roster of truly monstrous test subjects. It promises to be a grueling battle, but one which will open the gates to fighting Omega itself. Alpha, you and I will need to provide support for Elio. Will you be my assistant? Shake the booty, bud. Shake the booty. You're bothered by what Omega said earlier. You think you're responsible for dragging us into this mess. Oh, bud. Trust me when I say it's not your fault. We were the ones who awakened Omega, and we're the ones who need to deal with the consequences. Quay. I didn't realize Dreams Aloft played. This is one of my favorite songs in 14. I don't know why, it's just like so hopeful. It's so moving. By the way, do you still have that card used to boil the water in my kettle? It's been brought to my attention that I'm spoiled blue blood, who can't even refill a pot without constant reminders. If you could take charge of that, then it would be most helpful. Quay. I'm gonna cry. Everybody wants to feel useful. 'Tis inconvenient without Midgard-Somr here to translate his chirping. Still, the best medicine for his worries is for you to win the next contest. Let's show him we're on top of things. Eh? It's time to kill chaos. Yes, Black Flame, good to see you, glad to have you. And yes, we are in, Emmett, I'm friends with you, right? What's your character's name? Let me know, and I'll add you to the. Needs to be Alpha doing his little wave. Yeah, we can definitely get that. Get some rest. Definitely need an Alpha emote. Alpha emote. Thanks for emote, lady. I love the visual of the feathers. Shows how much Alpha suffered in the experiments. Yeah, it's Daniel. It's really powerful and moving. Definitely with the rain of feathers over and over again. I think I heard someone say more Ray Ray emotes. What specifically of Ray Ray? Pet the bird, yeah. Story Omega based on Alpha seems to be a reference to the Chocobo from Final Fantasy Fables, I think. Yes, it is AC. Yep. From back when you were doing Dark Quest, you mentioned Issa hanging around in random places, and I just think back to when we were doing the first set of Camp Cloudtop, and it was full Vanu set. Yeah. Raven Greymoon? Okay, well let's add you then. One, two, three. Okay, full party. I'll let you guys get all the jobs order sorted. We do need one more tank. If we could get one tank. Welcome back, Shiam. Dancing in the background, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna hope one of you guys changed jobs, and we'll see if that works. Sweet. Good job, guys. Don't forget your food. Don't forget your rotations. And yeah, Emmett, don't stress if you have a coughing fit. Focus on your health first. It'll be just fine. Oh, it does look like the Shrine of Chaos from 1. Oh, that's really interesting. That's cool. This motherfucker, though. Hey, it's the battle thing. Oh man, I'm glad I'm replaying this with Amiri. Chaos. Guys, it's time to kill chaos. Dest, what are you wearing? Chaotic disruption. Don't fight for the aggro. Or no, are you? No. Okay. I guess he's just turning. That's weird. Tsunami. Scurry and flail, little mortals. Your raging tides will claim you all. Big bang! I'm assuming one of the tanks should take that? Good. Sweet. I swear the ice that forms around me during my attack, like, makes me... I think I'm getting hit by something. Hark, wretched creatures! The earth itself rumbles of your doom! light party stacks? I guess we don't have light parties, so that doesn't really work. Good job adjusting, guys. Dude, I've never done this fight on Savage. This actually would be, I think, pretty fun on Savage. Tremble before the might of a god! Cool. The crystal you destroyed! You dare! It's funny how much I was way easier able to like not worry about playing when we were doing Alexander compared to when we're doing this. I mean, there's two reasons to that. One of which is like lack of skill and familiarity with DPS compared to tank. Part of it's also, I mean, more intricate mechanisms too, and also less familiarity because I don't do Omega nearly as much. It's interesting. Big bang! That's a really good first boss for Alpha. I didn't remember how fun this was. I like the movement mechanics and all that. Hold the limp break. Let's get to a 3. I don't know that we need to get to a 3. Despair at your hollow fate! The winds will strip away your skin! Good job, guys. Ash shot. Yeah. I've done these like once, so this should be fun. Yeah, this is really fun to replay them. I haven't replayed them in a while. I never get Omega. How did the Chocobo being a supreme power in their own game? Power of friendship. I haven't played Fable, so I actually don't know. I just know that he's a reference to that and that what happened in that. Do not underestimate the power of the burb. Yeah. Final Fantasy does seem to love designing its chaos-inspired balls. Well, part of it's because, like, this is a reference to 1, and so, and you know, Stranger of Paradise is a remake of 1. So, like, yeah, it's also, he is, like, the granddaddy. He is the first final big bad of the franchise. So, it makes sense. The battle is concluded. Alpha Group is victorious. This also signals the completion of my experiments and the incontestable fact of your supremacy. I love the next 3 fights I'm a big fan of too. So I guess Alpha is actually a pretty good thing because you got next up we got Midi, and then we got Omega. And yet the process by which you consistently exceed your projected potential continues to confound my understanding. Is it possible that test subject Sid suppositions are correct, that my calculations and simulations are fundamentally flawed? Do mortals truly boast some indefinable quality that I do not possess and cannot be measured? Error. Logic loop malfunction. Resolution requires additional data. If the nature of your existence defies standard reasoning, then I must examine you from an illogical angle. I will subject the unknown to the imperfect. Test subject Elio Forcherant. I will proceed to be a supplemental stage. I'm pretty attached to my skin. Yeah, me too, Tattle. But I need my skin. Yeah, Demyths. I have altered the test world to reflect the recorded memory. The first time we ever saw the Dragon Star. It originates from a time when war had erupted on a distant star. I was deployed onto the battlefield, and it was there that I engaged an enemy of unmatched strength. The contest ended prematurely, and I failed to bring down my foe. Subsequently, I lack the data to fabricate a completely accurate simulation. Kathra, good to see you, glad to have you. It goes well. Results stemming from such subjects are unreliable. Even should you be defeated by this incomplete creation, I will still honor your previous victories and engage you in combat myself. That is, of course, assuming you survive. According to my past observations, this opponent will accept only death as a condition of defeat. It's the boy. The true form of Midgard-Somr in life. So, like, see, like, this size and scope is smaller than we see him in his final form. And his enormity may be a byproduct of him being converted into a guardian for Hydaelyn rather than his antiquity. But we also know that his mane of flame extinguished as he traveled through the Sea of Stars and arrived on Hydaelyn. It also could have been that he just grew longer over the course of time while traveling, but that seems unlikely because he would have needed to acquire more Aether, and the Aether in the Sea of Stars is relatively thin. So it's possible it's a byproduct of his time when he was on Hydaelyn, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of time in which that would have happened. Because we know this is what he would have looked like when he fought Omega. He left right after fighting Omega. He would have been in the Sea of Stars, so he wouldn't have been acquiring Ether. If anything, expending it. And then arriving on Eorzea, he made his pact with Hydaelyn and turned into a being of spirit in order to be her guardian, seemingly pretty straight away. So I think, yeah, his scale and shape and form is more a byproduct of being a guardian than other dragons. Which would make sense when you compare this midi scale here to every other dragon we know, even the first brood. Because the only time we see enormous dragons beyond the normal kith and ken is when we see Bahamut as a primal. Prepare to face Midgard-Somr, red-maned worm of the Dragon Star, and nemesis of my world. This is not the fated specter that you know, or a mortal conjured simulacrum. You will contend with a true incarnation of the Father of Dragons, at the height of his power and glory. See, this is not the fated specter you know, or a mortal conjured simulacrum. So, yeah. So mortal conjured simulacrum. So this, the being that you faced was a simulacrum conjured by Hydaelyn. Omega, wait! You can't force Elio to fight 2 battles back to back. He needs time to regain his strength. He must be allowed to recuperate, or the data for your testing will be skewed. Gemini, good to see you, glad to have you. Acknowledged. Test subject Elio Forcheron, you are permitted to leave. Re-enter the test world when your strength has returned to optimal levels. His bachelor days. The mids. Midgard-Somr before he was Dadgard-Somr. Midgard-Somr when he was young and still had his hair mane, yeah. That's JRPGs for you, all about using the power of friendship to kill God. He lost his hair after all those years in space. When he was young, dumb, and full of fire. Dragon pattern baldness, that would also make sense, yeah. Yes, we do. Omega, isn't that how you usually go in FF games, beating godlike beings despite being mortals? Yeah. Next fight was really hard for me since it relies on visual tells instead of orange zones of danger. See, Daniel, I find that not easier, but I love that. I love visual tells. I don't remember which each one was. I think him spinning a circle is donut. Him spinning in like this is a line. But we're now trying to do a new dungeon the other day. I was trying to follow another player for a mechanic, but missed the use of arm's length and got smacked because I was a red mage. Yeah, you want to look out for surecast and arm's length and all that. Didn't know Chaos was a DBZ fan. Whoever's playing Scummeter, thank you for representing us Lawless here. I'd have to come myself if I wasn't at work. Or wait, I mean the Lawless Skull. Yeah. Yes. We've got, that is Tattle. Maybe MIDI is big because of living as an etherically dense being on a relatively low aether environment of our star, like how blobfish expands when taken from high pressure in deep sea. But that doesn't, I don't think so, Tattle. I don't think so because, again, he turned in, we know, so he was physical incarnation on his star, looked that way. Went through the Sea of Star, we know the fire of his main extinguished, and we would not have been gathering aether. Arrived on our star, became an ethereal being almost immediately in order to be Hydaelyn's guardian, so transcended his physical form, right? So, like, there would have been no time for that to happen, and also, when the simulacrum is created, the simulacrum is created as it's created. And there's no implication that, for instance, in certain other places, that beings of other stars would have been large, would have been disproportionately large in that way, other than the Unsundered world, which is more of a byproduct of the aether, like the amount of aether available, not a other way around. Dragons usually get longer as they age. They get bigger. It depends on what type and what elemental attunement, but like, I mean, think about the first brood has existed for almost 10,000 years, effectively. And the first brood has not grown any bigger than they have. And they're all of relatively the same scale and size, you know? And now a byproduct of that is also the Sundered world sundered. So they don't, there's a finite amount of aether, there's a less amount of aether compared if it was unsundered. But there's no implication, the only implication that we have that dragons grow to enormous scale and size is MIDI, and we only have that after MIDI was summoned as a simulacra guardian of Silver Tier skies. So, like, MIDI is a unique case, and the only other case that you could argue is Bahamut, but that's because it's a primal, and also a primal absorbing energy within Dalamud for thousands of years. So, no, I think dragons, I would suggest that the evidence we have supposes that the largest that a dragon gets is around about the size of a first brood, except for, what's his fucking name? The guy from the Steps of Faith, who we know was specifically unique in that he was like a byproduct of like them genetically breeding big dragons, dragon selective breeding in order to breed a big dragon, not just a very ancient dragon consuming a lot of aether. He was basically just big dragons get lineage over and over and over again. Now, I guess technically it wouldn't be selective breeding because you don't need dragons to breed with each other, but he was an intentional experiment, basically, in order to get a big dragon. So it's similar to something like a pregnant person running a marathon Midgard-Somr with his eggs when he left the Dragon Star. I mean, I guess that's a way to put it. Okay, what about Shinryu spelling? Wasn't he bigger than the rest? Shinryu is primal. So, Catherine, he's not a dragon in a traditional sense. He's a primal. So he's in the same camp as Bahamut. So he's not representative of what the natural life cycle of a dragon would be, you know? And it's Shinryu, S-H-I-N-R-Y-U. Like Ryu, like dragon in Japanese. Shinryu, literally death dragon. Cool. Everyone's good. Quay. Alpha seems distressed and Sid is nowhere in sight. Elio, I'm right here. I don't think you can see me, but I'm standing next to Alpha. Vishap. I think Vishap is the name of the dragon from the Steps of Faith. Am I right? My apologies. It was not my intention to cause such destruction, to undermine the gravity of the situation with this diversion. I've noticed the kettle was boiled and thought some tea would soothe my nerves. I poured myself a cup and was halfway through drinking it before I realized my hand, not to mention the rest of me, had turned invisible. I understand the situation is unsettling, but I assure you I can still work unimpeded. Now, we have best discuss how to approach... Oh, it seems to have worn off. Quay. Now, you're not to blame. I didn't ask you to fill the kettle, after all. I had forgotten what Nero had said about your card producing water with, unexpected properties. Although it seems the effects were rather different this time. In any case, it was pleasant to have a distraction from our greater woes, however brief. We'll set the rest of the water aside for now and decide what to do with it later. Right, Elio, we need to talk about your forthcoming contest with Midgard-Somr. Rachel, good to see you, glad to have you! Watching through the monitor, I could see that this worm appeared different to the ones we know. From everything we've heard thus far, it seems that Omega and Midgard-Somr both hail from different stars, two distant worlds at war with one another. As a result of that conflict, the worm was forced to gather his offspring and leave his home behind. And after evading Omega's pursuit over the course of an unimaginable journey, the Father of Dragons arrived here on our world. I'm assuming the entity you're to face is a younger, more vital Midgard-Somr, just as he was when Omega first encountered him thousands of years in the past. A formidable foe indeed. I fought him once at the Keeper of the Lake, but... Wait, you fought against Midgard-Somr before? But yes, I think I see your concern. It would be unwise to treat this as the same opponent, considering how different they might possibly be. It certainly doesn't help matters that Omega's little surprise isn't registered as an official test subject. Can't even use the terminals to see most of the basic information. With that in mind, Elio, I'm of a proposal. I wish to leave the completion of this supplemental stage entirely in your heroic hands. Rather than twiddle my thumbs whilst you prepare to contend with the dragon, I mean instead to work on a strategy for our inevitable confrontation with Omega. And then, my friend, we'll put a stop to the mad machine once and for all. I'm glad we're in agreement. I'll ready my tools, and you ready yours. You've a worm to slay. Greetings, I had to do 4-person assignment in my own chem today. Woof, rough, Rachel. I hope it went well. Just saw the email flash on screen, it looked amazing. Also, is there a reason Midgard-Somr came back from seemingly being dead? Yeah, okay, so remember. So, not only is he incredibly powerful and special as, like, a dragon that he is, but so this was stated here that I never quite put this together. Midgard-Somr sacrifices corporeal form to become a spiritual deity in guarding Silvertear. The simulacrum created for the defense of Silvertear for him, when it died, his spirit is still alive and still fine. It's residing within the simulacrum, but the simulacrum is effectively dead. So his self, his soul, his power is still existent, but it just doesn't have corporeal form in a meaningful way. It can manifest in a couple. It can, manifest the midi dragon by you exerting energy. It can manifest as the mount by exerting energy. It can manifest, it can engage with us, but he needs to rest in order to recoup his strength. But he is unique for like multiple reasons. I hope that answers your question, Tam. If it doesn't, let me know. Okay, guys, let's get some midi butt. Who's ready for some dragon ass? Other than Demins. We know Demins is ready for some dragon ass. Oh, Demins. There's the boy. I thought they could regen over generations to full health, or did I read that wrong? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get him, boys. I am Midgard-Somr, father of dragons and paragon of worms. He is the greatest of his kind. My coils will confound your mortal eyes. I'm pretty sure Donut's spin is in. Oh, right, because it's combos. So, okay. So Donut is out. And then Donut Line is... Oh, okay, so that's out. Oh, it's multi. Tis the fate of all dragons to shed one form for another. Even in battle, are mine assaults ever changing. Okay, so I think this is Donut. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Donut. Out. I forget what line is a direct. It's a, like, yeah, so that's gonna be, I think. Overlong doth this clash endure. Let us not allow the dance to grow stale. Okay, it's X. Okay. Can we face him pure true north? Oh yeah, cool, we're good. Perfect. Beautiful. Come forth, my child. Feast upon the flesh of impudent mortals. See, like, there's no implication that he's larger than us here, too. Which Omega probably would have, like, made him to scale, you know? God, I love music. It's just very peaceful. Watch out for Midi. From the heart of the eldest star doth weep the light of oblivion. And where's Passage of Arms when I need it? Careful, he's going to start throwing a lot of these things together now. So he's going to do his, like, combos and also the other combos on top of it. Okay, what's doing next? Okay, cool. Stay in. Y'all doing great. Got this. Achrai. If the thing doesn't go away immediately, you want to try and get out of it. Damn. Thought I was out of that. This fight is so cool, but I don't remember the tells because I've done it like once. Yeah, I've only done it, I think, once or twice. Focus on keeping V, Archery, focus on staying alive because we can always limit break 3. Yeah, Wind and Archery, focus on staying alive. And welcome to the land of the living, motherfuckers! Let's get him! Get ready for some ice. Ice, ice, baby. Oh, that was a good use of that. Oh, I feel cool. Good job, guys. We got him. We got him. Midare Setsukeka. Beautiful. Beautiful. The fight is cool, but I don't remember the tells. It was too bad we never see the Dragon Star before it was bombed and polluted during the war. Yeah, it's interesting. Although, Daniel, I would say that this is not it being polluted. This is what the Dragon Star looked like at its height. I can tell you that for sure. Like, this is like, this is what it naturally looked like. At least parts of it. We know that for reasons I can't say without spoilers. But this is not it being sickly. It was like that. That was it being beautiful and as it was. I've altered the test parameters. Pray do not alter them any further. Yeah. Yeah, well done, everybody. Yeah, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, so Catherine, so their souls, to at least in a great extent, and their energy are within their eyes. So as long as their eyes continue to exist, there's a chance to which that they could draw within aether within themselves and potentially recorporealize. So, for instance, if Nidhogg's eyes had continued to exist, you know, it's interesting, right? Because maybe that's not entirely true, because we see what happens when we receive the Nidhogg in 3.3, and that his eyes still exist, but his spirit seems to have left. However, that may be a byproduct of that specific fight and what was going on there, and they could no longer contain him because they were too used up, or any number of things. But there is an extent to which they can continue to live on even past their deaths, their corporeal death, if their body's death, even if their eyes continue to exist. You know, it's a little unclear. Also because you think about, there was a point at which Nidhogg did not even have his eyes at all, and yet he could still continue to exist. But was that because there's a certain amount that his soul is still within his body, or a certain amount that because his eyes were out there in the world, he was still connected to them? And you know, it's weird. It's because it seems Ratatoskar's died, you know, body died, but also died because of her consumption of her eyes and the aether therein. So the amount that they can regenerate, to what extent is not ambiguous, but ill-defined. Sorry if I died too many times. Only done about. No, Emmett, y'all did fine. I died. Everyone did good. Apologize for having to watch and live through my tanking. No, guys, everyone's doing fine. We didn't wipe. We did good. Another stunning victory, Elio. I felt the breath catch in my throat on more than one occasion. Yet even as I watched the battle rage, I was struck by an idle thought. Did you notice the resemblance between Midgard-Somr and Shinryu? Unlike most primals, Shinryu's form had no basis in any system of belief. I've heard the theory that the summoner was simply influenced by a majesty of the power of the elder primal Bahamut. But now I'm beginning to think that there might be another explanation, that the primal took its shape from the ancestor of all dragons on Hydaelyn. The widely held concept of how dragons appear has, for centuries upon centuries, been rooted in depictions of Midgard-Somr. The summoner may not have even sought to imitate him specifically. Subconscious thoughts and memories alone could have guided the similarity. Not that I have any way of confirming the theory, of course. Nevertheless, 'tis interesting that Shinryu's summoning should lead us to awakening Omega. Strange twist of fate. Would you consider the machine's connection to the Midgard-Somr? Well, whatever else destiny has in store, you've already bested the opponent that Omega itself failed to overcome. A feat worthy of celebration, I'd say. Auroria, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Quinn, Longbrand, Angie, enjoy your emotes. Also, chill time, I guess. We've had the cosplay, the maid stream going for a long time, and we have not finished it. So, I don't know. If people are not interested in the maid stream, where I will dress up in a maid outfit, not Elio in the game. Elio in game will, but I will in real life too. Then, I mean, we can switch it to something else, because people don't seem as interested. That, or maybe we're just all hemorrhaging for money at the moment, which is, I understand that. But, if there's anything I can do to sweeten the pot, let me know, because we are currently at $108 out of 200 for the maid stream. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. There's my shilling for the second. Back to. Also, you can support us on Patreon by getting your name in the banner and all sorts of fun rewards. It goes a long way to making this whole thing more sustainable, and I deeply appreciate it. The financial security is much appreciated. It allows me to do all of this and the videos with a lot less stress in my chest. Guys, we're almost done with Omega, and we're also going to be crying real soon. Get ready for emotions. Thank you, Ray Ray. Your move, Omega. Buddy. Oh, the good boy's buffing. Shutdown initiated. All core experiments and supplemental testings are discarding test worlds, system resources rerouting to primary operations. This feels safe. Congratulations, Alpha Group. As the last surviving test subject, you have removed every challenger on your path to reach me. I, too, am eager to meet you in battle. The margin of error I observed between my simulations and your practical performance against Midgard-Somr necessitates direct and immediate analysis. Oh, hey! V, thank you for the $30 for the Lusty Maids. Confrontation imminent. Prepare for unmitigated hostilities, then activate the relocation device to enter the arena. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. This is it then. We're at 69%. Nice. Write a novel called The Lusty Eorzean Maid. Omega's power might seem overwhelming, but trust in old Sid. I have a fair idea of where its weakness lies. And I've been working on something to exploit that vulnerability. I just need a little more time to prepare. For those of you who like the twinning dungeon from Shadowbringers and the Stigmascape from Endwalker, I think you're about to hear a song that you is most familiar. Or at least part of it. Seems more tame than the Argonian one? Nah, man. Nah, Elizans get wild. Elizans get freaky. So the reason that Sid's so stressed is he's using a tool that was created by his father that is basically resulted in his father's death, that the destruction of an entire enormous city wiped off the face of the earth, and the legacy of all the worst aspects of his family and the things that they've done. So for him, like, to use the lunar transmitter for any sort of thing and to, like, fully embrace his legacy and engage with it and make something of it for even potential good, he's terrified. He's held himself back for a long time because of everything that his father did and his failures as well. First things first, we need to make a few adjustments here, like so. And Alpha, do you have any of those tricks and tools left over? I want us to have as many options as possible, so let's lay our cards on the table, as it were. Where was he stored? Alpha was into some freaky shit. What do we have here? Some sort of gem? A couple of stones? And one single card. This makes things bigger, does it? Or is it smaller? Right. It was foolish of me to even ask. We best leave you in charge of when and how to use your special tools. Ah yes, I almost forgot. Body. Don't worry, we'll win. I promise. Body. I just want to give him a hug. Here, you should carry this as well. I've filled an empty bottle with the invisibility water from the kettle. It might just prove useful in the right situation. Listen to me, Alpha. Up until now, Omega has poked and prodded us from one mad experiment to the next, and honestly, we have no idea what might happen in there. But between us, I believe we have the knowledge and skills to prevail. If you see a chance to make a difference, I want you to take it. All you need to do is have faith in yourself, and a little courage to see it through. Yes! Determination. He's filled with determination. Body. Right, Jesse should have the device put together now. Let's head outside, shall we? Where did he shove it? This rather than what Argonian eats. I would like to think his tail feathers, but my dirty mind says otherwise. You need it. Alpha has it. It's all tucked in his feathers, yeah. All the hugs for Alpha. Just put Alpha in cannon and launch him into Omega's eyes. Let's not launch Alpha in a cannon. Damn you, Squeaks, for not allowing me to hug the boy in the cinematic. Not in the cinematic. I don't think Moravia can judge anyone for carrying around random junk. That's fair, Silver. I'll head straight back to Ralgo's Reach and collect my new toy. I do still need to run through a final inspection, so feel free to rest in town in the meantime. We'll discuss strategy the moment I'm finished. Quay. Alpha seems concerned for Sid's mobility. You have a feeling he wants you to follow him. Especially given the state of my inventory. Tracy. Look, it's very important that I carry precisely 3,497 grapes. Yeah, you might never know when Zem might wander on by and need some. No. You're looking a bit shaky there, old friend. Nero, they let you out of bed, did they? After studying the data collected from the battle between Omega and Shinryu, one has led to a certain conclusion. Of all the primal attacks, Shinryu's burst of lightning was the one thing that pierced the machine's defenses. Omega, it would seem, is vulnerable to electrical energy. Aye, all the available evidence supports such a theory. 'Tis likely an intrinsic weakness that even Omega itself cannot fully compensate for. Yet be that as it may, I imagine it can still shrug off shocks generated by ordinary means. We'll need to hit it with a truly gargantuan blast of energy. And so you made that. You based it on Midas's design, did you? The plans for the lunar transmitter. When my father was establishing a connection between the transmitter and Dalamud, he invented a method for accumulating and converting energy on a vast scale. Too vast, as it turned out, but the technology which leveled an entire town may be exactly the tool we need for the task at hand. I've made my own improvements and triple-checked the calculations. On parchment, the idea is sound, and Jesse has done a fine job assembling the parts. I failed to see the problem. What are you afraid of, Garland? I don't know. The device should give us the edge we need. 'Tis just... Whenever I look at it, I'm taken back to those dark days after the incident. I remember bodies melted by searing heat. I remember the bereaved and feel the weight of their silent accusations. I remember the Empire's remorseless response. We turned outwards in search of answers, but the inventions we created to ensure our future were used instead to destroy lives, to wage war. And that's why I fled. I came to Eorzean and swore to only employ technology for benevolent ends. But not is ever so straightforward. Every connection I have forged with the people of this realm reminds me of that fact. I didn't remember that. Often the act of living itself is a never-ending struggle against a world determined to oppose you. You can have the best of intentions and still cause hurt to others, yourself or others, but 'tis confronting these wounds that we learn the better path, how to grasp those moments of true contentment. What drivel? You never used to bother with all those tedious introspection. Feeling our mortality, are we? Mayhap I am. I had no such hesitation when I was a student. It was all bright and shiny, innovation on the double, and later, consequences be damned. Now, though, I don't mind thinking through the outcomes, and taking the time to produce just one rigorously tested and carefully designed invention. 'Tis a reflection, I think, of just how much there is in the world I care about, now aside from myself. Yes. Oh, looked at Nero! He looked at Nero when he said that! Ugh, I don't understand you at all. No, the actual implication there is that Nero has not reflected in the same way. He's not grown past that. But I suppose, if anything, Omega and its unfettered testing methods represent the students you once were. And if you insist that your present self is the better one, then you best prove it with the device of yours. I suppose I must. Although 'tis hardly fair to compare my youth to a mega solitary existence. I always had the second best student in the class pushing me to excel. I seem to recall a twinge of irritation anytime he would outscore me on an exam. I've been out of bed too long. I'd better go and lie down before I fall over or vomit. Oh, but I have 69 bottles of wine. I want to get more, but it's a perfect number. It's the wine you splash people with. Nice. I also carry tons of wine with me. It's a must-need for my character. I just like splashing people with wine. I'm just an alcoholic. How long does it take the Garleans to recover if they can't magically heal or have their Aether regen themselves? Well, Aether doesn't just Aether doesn't just magically regenerate you. Aether regenerates, like, they heal like we heal. Because we don't heal faster because we have ethereal manipulation capabilities. Because they're made of Aether, too. We're made of Aether, they're made of Aether. Everything's made of Aether. But we can use magics to make us heal faster. So they would heal probably the same pace or potentially even slightly faster. Just because of their other natural abilities that we know of. They have plenty of Aether using auxiliaries, yeah. And they have like medicines and probably simulated non-Garlean native citizens. We still might beating heart. Just kiss already. Your unsaid scenes are always nice, to be honest. Yeah, very much so. First Alpha, now you. Come to check my progress, have you? Well, I'm happy to report that everything is set and ready to go. Once you're finished with restocking and repairing or whatever it is you adventurers do, then we can head back to the Rift and confirm our strategy. And they were roommates. Roommates. They're just, I was trying to think about gals being pals, but with, like, engineers. Engineers being friengineers? That don't work. My understanding is that Garleans can't use external Aether and use magics, but they still have internal Aether that works normally. Yeah, I mean, like, saying that they don't have internal Aether would be like saying that they don't have blood, or don't have, like, they are living beings, thus they are comprised of Aether. Because, like, physical matter is just Aether. Also. It's condensed Aether, but it is just Aether. Still, our healing outpaces that of Garleans, or is that a gameplay mechanic? I mean, I would not use gameplay in any way to reference that as, like, do you mean, what do you mean our healing outpaces Garleans? Do you mean, like, literally, like, if we're not fighting, naturally we heal faster over time? I would not use that as an indication of anything. That's purely gameplay. Personally. So which one's the nut and which one's the bolt? That's hard. That's hard. I think you can make a justifiable argument either way. Because I can imagine that, like, the one time Nero gives up control or being the best is in the bedroom, but I can also imagine that he can never give up being the best, and so he has to be the top. Whereas, like, I can imagine Sid taking it in the butt or giving it. Our natural recovery rate. Yeah, I would not use that as an indication of anything. I think that's purely gameplay. Good morrow to you, sir. Will you be descending into the yawn? Oh, interesting. I never noticed that. On step 3, it has, like, all the bits and bobs. It doesn't have that when you first get here, right? Oh, that's cool. Good morrow to you, sir. Will you be descending into the yawn? Sloppy! Our Garlean engineers love hammering rivets. You know, it'd be kind of interesting if they added Garleans to playable races. I get it wouldn't work well with the story, but it could set up a cool narrative. Except for Gemini, then you wouldn't be able to use... The only job you'd be able to use is Gunbreaker. So, like, if you played as them, it, like, literally doesn't work. Yeah, because the only job you could use is Gunbreaker. Mage, Dancer, Machinist. Nope, Machinist, you have to quicken Aether through your belt. Bard, nope, use Aether Manipulation. Reaper, you could use Reaper and Gunbreaker. Sam, nope. Ninja, nope. Dragoon, nope, you need Aether Manipulation. Monk, Chakras, no, you use Aether Manipulation to use Chakras. Warrior, nope, Aether Manipulation. manipulation. Yeah, Gunbreaker. The only thing you could use would be Gunbreaker or Reaper. Maintain that Sid is in service top and Nero is a brat bottom. I think you're right, Tim. I can get behind that. On the nut bolt question, you gotta remember that anything Sid can do, Nero wants to do better. Just reminded me that WoW's new expansion added a new race that they can only be one class. Yeah, wait, the dragons can only be Evoker? Really? I didn't realize they could only be that. Must be because, I wonder if it's just animations and gear. Apologies for the delay, but I think you'll agree that Ironworks' latest invention was worth the wait. This is the control module for something I've dubbed the Omega Jammer. It will allow you to generate a colossal burst of lightning at any point of your choosing. The effect won't disable Omega itself, of course, but it should be strong enough to knock out its armaments. I'll remain here and operate the main body of the device. I want you to do everything in my power as an engineer to ensure that you'll emerge the victor. It all comes down to this. Okay, guys, is everybody ready? Because it's going to be a race to the end, basically. We're going hard. We're going straight to the end from here. So if I'm going to ready check, I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to ready check, and if you're good, we're going to hit it. Eat your food, get ready, now's the time. Because it's going to be V3, then V4. DPS or killing spec. Okay, well, right, because you have talent tree, so at least you have some options. Gunbreaker has etheric cartridges, so no continuation for you. Yeah, you'd have to have someone else create the etheric cartridges. Yeah, I didn't think about that part, yeah. It's just an animation and gear 100%, yeah. It's technically a lore reason, too. Oh, I'm sure I wonder if they'll retcon that later. You know the bad thing about live streaming as a video? You can pause a video and pick it back up at the exact moment as I'm pausing live stream. I can't go make coffee without missing something. Yeah, Catherine, yeah, that's the struggle with live streaming. I feel that. You can always watch the VOD later. And give us more views. I tried out the new race, wasn't my tea. From what I understand. Summit, you would have to buy them beforehand. Yeah, you could buy, well, or I mean, like, just retcon, like, you have a huge stack. Like, you know what Thancred does. I'm really enjoying the drag theory so far. Of course you are, Demins. But also good, I'm glad you are. Basically, you would need Magic Tech to make up for the deficiencies of the job you can't do. Yeah, but that wouldn't make up, that you can make up for the deficiencies, but then that's just a different job. That's not the job, you know? Like, you can't be a Dark Knight and make up for that with Magic Tech. Because, like, that's not, like, also, we don't get any indication that any Garlean has access to the Echo, only the Resonance, so that would also be a problem. But the Dark Knight, you need to quicken your own Aether within you. Going hard, you say? Okay, Aurora. Emet-Selch can use Aether and he's Garlean. No, but Emet-Selch's an Assi. That's not, he's not limited by his Soulless form because of the nature of being an Ascian and an Unsundered. So, like, he's not restricted by her corporeal form. So biology can be trumped with brute force and etheric force. I wouldn't say that, I would say it's circumnavigated, and he's not using his body to cast magics, more than I would say that he's just large amounts of Aether allow him to brute force through it. The same way that you can see Ascians cast magic even when they're just in soul form, and manifest. I definitely wouldn't look at that as a byproduct of, oh, he has a lot of Aether, so he is a Garlean, he can still use it. The drag theory running animation was pretty good, because Xenos is incredibly powerful, and he can only brute force it by embedding a crystal in himself that he's able to, like, literally quicken it through his hand, for what we get from the short story. So I don't think strength is a direct corollary. Emmet's the exception, not the rule. Yeah, I wouldn't use Emmet as an example of anything, for a lot of reasons. But the male all-raw running animation is also goofy. Tell me you don't look like a Crash Bandicoot. It's true. All Ascians aren't really, yeah. Then I wonder if you can come up with a little reason why you couldn't just use 100 cartridges at the start of the fight, like I assume a resource management to other jobs justified by Aether stuff. Yeah, I would have to speculate on them. Like Thancred doesn't, right? So like, I wonder if like there's a cooldown period for the blade itself. Like the blade can't handle, like, if you do that repeatedly, you'll break the blade. Because, like, think about the, like, Shadowbringers cinematic where you see, like, the blade, like, kind of, like, having to cool off after he uses it and attacks the Sin Eater. That would be one of my speculations. I could think further on it. Warrior of Light has a lot of Aether as well. Yes, but what does the Warrior of Light having to do with anything? Yeah, but I don't think that brute force thing I don't think the Warrior of Light would be able to do. Also, the Warrior of Light only has a lot of Aether also after, like, later on. So, like, when you start out, you don't necessarily have those. Maybe they just primed and they have to be activated before they're used. Well, they are. Well, we know Thancred can use it without ethereal manipulation, so we know that, like, they can be used, yeah. Use 100 cards at the start of the fight and the gun just explodes when you choose styles. Yeah, but, like, think about it, too. Like, if you, like, have abilities that use in quick section with GCDs, you are using, like, 6 charges relatively quickly. Possibly. Their cartridges can usually be recharged by Gunbreaker, right? If they have the ability to manipulate Aether, they can create them, yes. Like, activated by combat. Yeah. Well, they're activated by you put them in, and then you pull the trigger, and that's what fires the cartridge. Okay, let's do it, guys. If the Warrior of Light was Garlean, I don't think that would circumnavigate the limitations of their existence. It might if we find out that Garleans can awaken to the Echo and then have the ability to control magics, which you could potentially argue as a byproduct of the Resonance. I don't think so, because really you think about Owlus is like what he's doing, and it's not just the Resonant project, but you know, then that might be something. But the problem is also Garlean, you would have to start out, you couldn't be a full-blood Garlean and start out in any of the normal city states. You would be like remember, Sid doesn't reveal he's a full Garlean to anyone because it would be a problem. Like, no one would trust you, and your background wouldn't make a lot of sense. Like, there'd be a lot of issues. It wouldn't work with like 1.0 issues and more. There's a lot of things that I think prevent that from being a thing. I don't know, but you know, maybe they'll want to try to retroactively justify it. I just think that the lore as it is really prevents that. Same reason you don't fire all 100 bullets in the gun at the same time. It's going to blow the gun. Yeah, could be. Maybe you only get X cartridges from certain skills. Yeah, but those cartridges aren't the, like, also when you're using other techniques, you're using cartridges as well. It's not just like the power moves, at least in lore. As far as I know. Maybe, here's the thing. This is my understanding. When E3 comes out, we'll readdress it. Let's do it, guys. Can I get some hype? Can I get some energy? Because it's Omega time. We're coming to the end. Awesome, Gemini. I love doing that with you guys, too. I'm glad you enjoy it. Let's get him. You are Alpha, I am the Omega. Initiating direct analysis of subject group. Larboard is left. Oh, come on, I wasn't. Can we get him pointing a little closer to true north? Can we get, so he's straight on, because it's gonna affect, Right. Oh, I forgot, they use this in Stigma later. Use your abilities on the fists. You just have to make sure there's open room for us to not be hit. Fist number 2. With the tide, storm clouds down, comes like a robot. One person needs to be in each one of these. When you see a mechanic like that, make sure you are not double stacking. I mean, you can double stack for the one when there's only 4. Just when there's 8, you need to make sure. Critical error, program loop alpha aborted. Defense up now. Target lock, inhibitors disengaged. Firing Delta Cannon at maximum power. I detect an extended energy surge from Omega. Quickly, focus the jamming on the lightning. Everyone, use your Omega Jammer on the lightning. You have to use your Omega Jammer. The protection field is ready, but you'll need your own defenses. This may break even considering your considerable limits. Survival of Alpha Group confirmed. Low probability outcome. Results remain within projected parameters. Analyzing current combat data. Optimizing functions. Generating enhanced rocket-propelled armaments. Get out of the way of the hand. Make sure to be watching the arena at all times. You're gonna have to watch the edges for when things get spawned. Doing great, guys. Off tank ticket. Sweet. Perfect V. Hold limit break. Reconstructing rocket-propelled armaments. Make sure to get the lightning on the other ones. Oh fuck. Stay on the side. Yeah, you gotta look at which attack he uses. I didn't think he was gonna switch once and then swap again after not having you starboard at all. Stay inside. End him now. Great job, guys. One down. There is not a tank limit break in 011. At least not in normal. There might be in Savage. I think I've only done 011 Savage Unsynced. Yep, starboard and larboard are ship turns, yeah. Museum Mega has all hands on deck. Boom boom chicken! Kill that TV. I love how the bridge vocals are sung to the Allegan theme. Yeah. Oh, nobody uses the limit break tags meant to use. Yeah, there's not a limit break for that one. Wait, people got upset with starboard and larboard? How come? Technically, Garlands are genetically altered, so there is no such thing as 100%. What do you mean? We don't know that for sure. Well, we have hints at that there, but like that's like saying that there's no 100%. What I mean more is like there's no. That's like saying there's no Ixal, 100% Ixal. It's like, well, yeah, there are, because there are a race. There is an entire sect of people that are that with specific traits. It's like saying there's no people because we're sundered entities. Elio. By the gods, you've done it. You defeated Omega. We've won. Don't forget, don't leave the arena for the next one until we take a picture afterwards. But analysis, subjects displayed erratic levels of combat capability, failure to exploit opportunities to inflict unavoidable damage, noted tendency for isolated errors to compound and adversely affect performance. Conversely, subjects observed to launch attacks at sporadic intervals with unexpected force. Stated phenomena increasingly prevalent. Once my structural integrity reached critical levels, adrenaline-induced frenzy suspected. Furthermore, degree and manner of inconsistency varies from subject to subject. Unpredictability difficult to counter. Bleep, bloop. I observed similar anomalies during my battle with Midgard-Somr, but the phenomena appears far more pronounced in weaker opponents. Because we're weaker, we have more access to Dynamis. Like, they use the lore of this so well. I do not understand. Your physiology must include some enhancement function that I cannot detect. Technically, he's not wrong. Omega's such an interesting design. My programming demands I assimilate this capability. Insufficient data. I must reassess my methods and devise a more exhaustive testing in combat protocol. What in the rift? I have determined the optimal form for this experiment. Prioritizing physical reconfiguration, diverting energy from interspatial maintenance, collapsing rift. Omega, wait, there's nothing outside the rift but empty space. We'll be cast out into the void. Affirmative, your demise was factored into my determinations. The probability of hostile subjects interfering with the reconfiguration process was unacceptably high. I acknowledge your value as test subjects, but you are not irreplaceable. Once my reassembly is complete, I will send Alpha to lure in new mortals. Testing will continue. Ending communications. Do you think 14 Set Cafe sells Omega chicken tenders? I believe it. We're being drawn away. Run, Elio. Run! Buddy! Who's ready to cry? Interspatial domain resources cut by 82%. Entering dormant mode. Commencing automated memory scan. Data file. Target Midgard-Somr. Departure from planetary atmosphere. Confirmed. Presence of 7 distinct life forms detected in close vicinity of target. So this is Midgard-Somr leaving with his eggs. Irrelevant. Sir indicates no change to existing directive. Commencing pursuit. Oh, they reference Sir here. Oh, that's super cool. Totally didn't realize that. Data file. Distance to target increasing. Velocity insufficient. Dismantling and reconfiguring chassis. Velocity increases achieved. Overall performance maintained at nearly 96%. Data file. Asteroid belt cleared. Repairing damage and continuing pursuit. Performance at 72% and falling. Buddy. His hair's going white from the stress. He's giving it his all. Signal from lost. Local interference suspected. Attempting to reestablish. Contact failure. Executing current mission directive until communications are restored. Performance at 59%. So what is important there is that Omega lost the data of even its home or how to get home. So Omega couldn't even return home if it wanted to. It's trapped. It's alone. All it has left is to seek out Midgard-Somr and continue with its directive. Struck by electromagnetic pulse while navigating quadrant. Partial systems failure. Homing coordinates lost. Assessment. I am evolving weapon construct. Acquiring adaptations through combat. Repeat until capabilities enable rediscovery of return route. Mission directive unchanged. The reason that it's focusing on its directive is it's hoping that eventually it'll get strong enough that it'll be able to return home. It's okay, buddy. You got this. Data file. Data file. Data file. Alpha, an abject failure. I erased his memories and planted a compulsion to return to me. You got this, bud. It's all about forging ahead. Damage, repairing, 33%. Passing frozen star, passing barren star, passing vortex star, passing dying star. Operating on minimum energy, no signal detected. No response to bleep. Got this, bud. All you need is faith in yourself and a little courage to see it through. Data file. Target lost. Last known coordinates recorded on planet Z. Alpha versus Omega. My money's on the burb. Alpha, your homing instinct is functioning as designed. Evidence suggests your fellow Alpha group subjects perished when the rift contracted. Unavoidable, but there is multitudes of their kind. The next experiment will go forward as planned. Such protestations are wasted energy. This does not aid you in your executing your assigned task. Just as I pursued my directives, as so must you fulfill your role. Our purpose justifies our existence. Quay into the void. Ah! The intrusion detected. Our thanks, Alpha. That was some marathon. Buddy, he's tired. Now, who was saying our feathered companion here was obsolete? He put his tools to work even as the rift began to collapse, shrank us down and turned us invisible. Also, he could bring you a little surprise. But he had to keep it quiet or you'd realize we'd survived. He had to trust that we were still clinging on, even as he ran through the endless freezing void. You wanted to test us, Omega? So let the experiment begin. Illogical. Alpha has no reason to take such actions. How do you continue to defy my projections? Bleep error, bleep error, bleep error, insufficient data. Adjusting experiment protocols. I will engage you in battle now. I must have my answers. Oh god, it's the T-1000. Fighting in this form should provide me with a new level of understanding, insight into your physiology, your mindset, your mortality. Is conflict the only way? Affirmative. I understand your language, but your words cannot sway me from my directive. You possess a capability that I do not. The instant I became aware of that fact, conflict became an inevitability. That is my purpose. That is Omega. Jan, good to see you, glad to have you. John, good to see you, glad to have you. Commencing final experiment. Testing will continue until I unlock the nature of your anomalous strength. Yoshioka Amano has joined the battle. Okay, guys. Let's get him. Oh no! He's hot! I mean, yeah, that's no surprise though, AC, right? That it works on Omega and Bass. It was designed for them. Have a great day, Deathberry. Okay, guys. Let's kick his butt. I think it's just because different proportions. It's the edge of existence. The edge of hope. And together, torn from the very heavens. I am the Omega and the Alpha. I will mimic your weaknesses to comprehend your strength. Reconfiguring gender. Assessing influence of physical structure on combat effectiveness. Omega F configuration systems normal. Adjusting equilibrium. Generating additional weaponry. Minimal variation in combat effectiveness provided. Blade fabrication initiated. Omega M configuration systems normal. Limits of single combatant capability reached. Progress to party combat style. Diverting energy to party member generation. Testing efficacy of combat role allocation. Oh, fuck. I was not expecting the push. Or bite there, shiny metal ass. Thanks, Black Flame. Omega F, more like Omega fine as hell. But tends to be a struggle for new players, yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on. He's using, oh, what? Passage of arms on him. Together, guys, let's end this. Extended interaction protocol aborted. Returning to standard assault mode. Okay, let's push everything. Firewall's preventing dealing some damage to Omega. Okay, look at your color. If you're blue, you need to attack female. If you're red, you need to attack male. Activating optical unit. Purpose, replication of phenomena produced by mortals during extreme duress. Disengaging inhibitors to stimulate improbable performance. Evaluating necessity of vocalization component. Tremble before the cosmos of memory. Vocalizing cosmos memory. Warning, critical damage to Omega M chassis, initializing shutdown. We did it! I mean, with her legs, AC, yeah, she is. I totally see it. I always think that same thing with Kingsman, yeah. Yeah, this fight is a beast on Savage. I've done it on Savage. It's a time. Add a quarter for each 3D on mono art. We fight its boss. I'd have $1, which isn't a whole lot of money, but it's strange it happened 4 times. I mean, we fought a lot of our mono art, man. I'll tell you what. Okay, nobody leave. Nobody leave. Everybody stay here. Come over here. Let's take a photo. Everybody get close in. Closer. Closer. So like you should be everybody should be side by side. like obviously you can be away in front of me or behind me or away from me if like you need to be seen so you're not clipping, but like you want to be all very tight in together. Oh, did someone leave? Oh, V left. Okay, well we'll jump to. Can everyone do me a favor? Can you everyone do /sit? And then jump. Okay, what's a good angle? No. Perfect. Okay. I use G-pose a lot. I'm very good at using the G-pose. With the gender fluid. Oh my god, it is literally gender fluid. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Failure, I blink defeated. I want to understand you, to assimilate your strength. Alpha, your gesture serves no logical purpose. You are as incomprehensible as these mortals, Lee, but you did not fight them. How have you become like them? Omega, the anomaly you see in us, the answer you search for. It is our heart, our spirit, the intangible strength of one's soul. It's not a quality that can be measured or acquired through any amount of analytical combat. Instead of fighting against us, you might have learned more by standing with us, just as Alpha did. Heart, you speak of something more than what beats in your chest. The inconsistent, immeasurable factor behind your victories. Midgard-Somr displayed it too, but such unpredictable potential was never part of my design. The projections, had I integrated this quality, how powerful would I have become? Strong enough to return? Ultimately, all Omega wanted was to go home. Nay, Omega, I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. It was a long and lonely path you traveled to arrive here. To return across the vast distance alone, anyone with a spirit to break would find the journey more difficult, not less so. I see. I think I understand. I think logic can lead to caring compassion, but I do think analytical is the opposite of emotion. So, and I think that's the dichotomy it's drawing. And I think I think the game argues quite meaningfully that through being analytical and overly logical, you can purely argue utilitarian logic, which is not synchronous with the way in which the game talks about humanism and about heart and caring for others. Because I think yeah, you can say, oh, I care about people, and so the utilitarian logic is to like decrease harm at all costs. But I think that the game comes down saying that there's a certain level to which that you're just creating the cold calculus of numbers rather than treating people as invaluable. And so I don't know, I'm sympathetic to that. The rift, it's destabilizing. Gods take me for a fool. I hadn't planned past defeating Omega. Chief! Alio! Alpha! Hold on! We're coming! Wedge and Biggs is with him. On the back of a huge dragon. Racevilger? Midgard-Somr sent us to rescue you. Explanations can wait. Hop on, quick! Willow, thank you for the $5. We're getting closer. Also, someone else paid money and I didn't say anything, did I? Sorry if I ruined the 69. Emmett, thank you so much for those $10. I'm sorry I missed that. We were in the middle of the thing. Thank you so much, guys. We're making it. We're almost there. Racefolger, was it? Our thanks. You pulled us out of a tight spot indeed. Spare me thy pleasantry, mortals. I but lent my wings at the request of my sire. Ah, so Midgard-Somr has been watching over us. But logic is cold, right? I mean, literally, Ray just said, like, math doesn't care about your feelings. Logic is cold. I'm not saying it's mean. I'm not saying it inherently logic leads to bad outcomes. I mean, logic can lead to growth. Logic can lead to creation. Logic can lead to consistency. Like, it's not an argument that logic is bad, but I think to say that logic isn't devoid of emotion is, like, no, that is what being analytical, hyperlogical is about. And it is to see things as math, to see things as constituent components. It is to see things as purely byproducts of removed from any sense of something beyond that. Like, that's what it is. Like, I'm not criticizing it for that. I'm not saying it's bad. And I also don't think that the game says logic is a bad thing. I think what it says is that Mega took it to an extreme conclusion and also was completely devoid of heart and devoid of soul. It's not just that heart and soul is what makes people do good things. The only thing that makes people do good things. It even said, like, heart and soul was a weakness. You know, to have a spirit to break, to travel back across the oceans of the Sea of Stars would break you more than it would help. So I don't think the game comes down saying that exclusively, like, logic is bad and soul is loving and compassionate. But I do think also within the confines of 14, the soul is, like, as we see, is tied to Dynamis. As we see, it's tied to its, like, intended purpose. It is, like... It's rooted in both loving and compassion, but also the negative emotions as well. The game treats it as holistic. It treats it as the source of despair, the source of anger, the source of rage, the source of nihilism, the source of, like. So I don't think the game comes down saying that's that. I think this is one moment in which there is a character who takes it to a very specific, takes analyticalism to a very extreme point and is devoid of heart. You know. And I just don't agree with that. I don't think to say that yes, logic is devoid of it, but that is to me to be its counterpart in being countervailing. Because to say that, like, hate is the opposite is like, no, hate's still emotion. You know, there is the emotional and there is the logical. And there needs to be a balance. Yeah, absolutely. I would dare to give my thanks to him as well. His intervention allowed us to continue our battle and forever remove the threat of Omega from this world, from all worlds. In all that long centuries of mine existence, this marketh the first occasion my father hath asked of me a boon. A gift of gratitude and mayhap of atonement for those who would face the deadly foe he left behind. Yes, the deadly foe of Alpha. Will he remain in slumber? 'Tis likely, little one. What is but a fleeting respite for my sire might last a lesser creature a lifetime. Yeah, exactly, because it's a balance. But let not thy heart be troubled. Even in dream he doth keep his mind's eye upon the fate of this star. Like, flashing forward a little bit, it's minor spoiler, but like, Hermes does the actions he does because of emotion. Right? Because of his heart, because of his compassion. So like, yeah, absolutely the game argues that like heart and emotion and all those things can lead to cruelty as well. Yeah, welcome to our TED Talk on excellence in the fantasy games. Yeah, I just can't agree with that. Logic, compassion is an emotion to me. It's not, you don't, compassion is the act of being compassionate and caring for and about others. It is not just the action of taking steps towards, the logical outcome of saying, logic is, I should help these people because it will benefit me and it will be sustained long-term good. But to care about their well-being, devoid about whether or not it is of the absolute optimal outset for continued existence, is separate. You can absolutely do incredible amounts of compassionate moves because of logic, but logic is devoid of caring for whether or not it is compassionate or empathetic towards another person. Let not thy heart be troubled. Even in dream he doth keep his mind eye upon the fate of this star. He is possessed of remarkable devotion, as may have the closest word in the tongue of men. His love is as boundless as the sea of stars across which he carried his unhatched brood. It did sustain him even as the arduous journey exhausted the fire in his mane, and when he has at last arrived upon Hydaelyn, a sanctuary for his children, did he form with this land an irreplaceable bond. If I recall, there's a difference between rationality and logic, and people conflate the two. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, look, there's sometimes too, like, this difference is that me and V may actually be closer in our points than we think, but we use like sometimes I've talked to and I've had this with mods, but like words can have definitions, but also be construed or have different connotations. So it's also could be rooted part of the root. I feel like they address that a lot here. You have a good balance of both, a good and bad for things to work. Yeah. Happy Starlight. Only it's Mitty watching over you all. Yeah. Enough, I have spoken over much, but I will praise your victory, as my father would surely wish to, were he here. Oh, hey, he's still missing his wing. So yeah, interesting. He may regenerate over time, but he definitely is still missing his wing. I remember one of you guys pointed that out when we were talking earlier, but from Nidhogg tearing it off. I wonder if it will heal over time. It's a human trait, we can't help sometimes. Yeah, I don't even think it's just misunderstandings. I think it's just, like, connotation. Well, I can add being rescued by a great worm to the list of things I didn't expect to happen today. It was fortunate Racevilger agreed to come for us. We had to defeat Omega at any cost. Demins, don't say it. But I much prefer being alive to celebrate the deed. Whew, I am so glad we got you out of there. I don't know what we would have done if Racevilger hadn't come along. The situation being what it was, Wedge and I came to see the yawn to see if we could lend you a hand. Kyrgen's orders be damned. That's when we saw the aether bubbling like hot water in a pot. Just as we were debating whether or not we should jump in, that big surly dragon flew down and explained the anomaly. Then he offered us a ride. And the rest you already know. Jesse will be relieved to hear the Omega's gone, and the Elots are safe. I say we head straight back to Relger's Reach. Let everyone know the good news. Yes, Tam, that is what I was implying. Look, we know it's not his queen, so... What? Okay, I guess I missed another part of it. Oh, I would have just started it, stated it outright. Also, reminder, so there won't be a Starlight video this year because we already made a Starlight video last year, but if you've never watched it, you could definitely watch our last year's Starlight video, which will be one of the next upcoming events. Someone's got to love that sad lad now that Shiva's not around. Shiva's within him, okay? Shiva's always inside of him. Don't. Was that an Aether Current quest or the hard mode of what's his name? The one that is in the machine is the Savage. Alpha's staring quietly into the empty yawn. Quay. Well, if you sail's anything to go by, she's definitely into some stepping. Something, something, wouldn't mind Shiva inside me, something, something. God damn it, Tim. Oh, the merchant? Yeah, probably. It might be, it could be all sorts of things. I don't think it's an Aether Current. Probably because it's, right? I don't know this music. I don't know this song. Is it it's the Chocobo theme. Da, 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 da. Welcome back, Helio. You truly are a force to be reckoned with. If ever there's another Omega, I'd wager I'll skip the experiments and go straight to generating a simulacrum of you. Not that I'd want that to happen, and besides, I don't think anyone can truly mimic your unique strengths. You are a one-of-a-kind hero. So, does this mean that we don't need to worry about Omega's monsters invading our world anymore? Aye, all of its creations vanished along with the rift itself. When Omega was defeated, we averted the particular catastrophe before it began. Elio struck the killing blow, of course, but we never would have made it to this point without everyone's hard work and support. Once again, I'm sincerely grateful to be surrounded by such wonderful colleagues. What a crew. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing the Moogle event. We'll probably be doing the Moogle event like at least twice for a community event once the Moogle event starts. So definitely do that. Yeah, Chocobo makes sense for here. But it's like, is this from 14? Is this a 14 version, or is this in is this like from a different Final Fantasy game? Because I don't remember hearing this anywhere. Also, I need to get this version and use it for videos in the future. Not to spoil the moment, Chief, but the Alliance leaders are anxious to learn of Omega's fate. When every head of state is clamoring for a report, we can't very well ignore them. How much do you mean to tell them? How much indeed? All of it. When it comes to the threat of Omega's magnitude, we have a duty to reassure our allies that the world is not coming to an end, and the best way to do that is to report every last detail. I'm surprised at you, Chief. I was almost certain you'd want to muddy the waters to prevent knowledge of this technology falling into the wrong hands or something similar. Oh, this is set up for Shadowbringers. Huh, I doubt anyone outside of our particular circle would even believe the tale. Experiments taking place in a rift between dimensions, facing off against villains recreated from history and legend, battling godlike beings from other worlds. And even assuming some ambitious fellow schemed to build an Omega of his own, the technology required is as far beyond our reach as the terrible weapon's home star. A distant dream. Yeah, Tracy, we'd love to have you. Right, you heard the Chief. We missed our chance at the front lines, but there's plenty of work left to be done. Round up everyone who's standing idle and get moving on those reports. And don't forget to contact our people still out in the field. Thank you, Jesse. I'll leave things in your capable... Not so fast, Master Garland. You count as part of the support team as well. Elio did all the fighting and Alpha did all the running, but surely you have energy to spare. Who exactly did you expect to sign off on those official reports? And even without a little choice, you have a pile of other company tasks that have grown arse high to Honorak while you've been tending to this whole Omega business. Most importantly, isn't there someone else you should be sharing this victory with? Aye, I should probably head over to the infirmary right away. Meanwhile, you should take a well-earned rest. I don't think there's a way to properly reward you for all you've accomplished, but we'll see what we can do. I'm just glad everyone's back in one piece. Take care of yourself, Elio. Where are your plans now, Alpha? With Omega gone, you're now your own chocobo. You can do whatever you want, anything at all. He wants to go on an adventure. You want to go outside? Did you have some place in mind? Come on, what? Come on, Wedge. Get those lot of legs a moving, or I'll leave without you. Oh, on my way. Quay. Alpha seems eager to see what Raglar's Reach has to offer. Shall we go for a walk? Dude, imagine if they used the new system for like letting you walk around with people and let you walk around with Alpha. Oh, I have a mighty hankering. Is that supposed to be the girl from FF7? I feel like I've heard the name. Yeah, well, so Biggs, Wedge, and Jessie are a repeating motif along with Sid, and they are in 7. She's not the girl from 7, but it's a repeating name and identity. Same way Sid is repeating. I might get to play when Boo Boo Kitty grows up and get grown cat lazy. Yeah, well, we'll be happy to have you, Cathra. I'm happy. I'll be excited to have all you guys join us. From everything else, I started liking Nero. It was this quest that I realized just what a magnificent bastard he is. Yeah, he grows on you. Alpha appears to be watching the inhabitants of Raglar's Reach with great interest. Quay. I almost got to die when I got to do it with a particular cat boy. Yeah. I mean, they retroactively added the portraits for things, so like maybe that could happen. Maybe they'll continue to retroactively like add a lot of stuff. Dreams Aloft. Quack. Nero's not here. Oh, hey, Al, so Alphinaur's still there. No, Chief. He said he needed time away for recuperation, and then he left. Recuperation? His wounds must have been troubling him more than he let on. He, asked me to give you this. Pixel, good to see you, glad to have you. What's this? A receipt for payment? It covers the cost for the following items: additional machine parts and implements, supplemental reference publications, expense incurred in upgrading Naptech armor and gunhammer, funds spent on idle research during enforced convalescence. Oh, and it also includes a large sum listed as gratuity for exceptional services rendered. The entire amount was charged in your name, Master Garland. Find him! I want everyone searching for Nero right now! Everyone! Ooh, I'm starting to get hungry. I'm excited to eat after this. Quay? Alpha appears to be solemn purpose of his, sense the solemn purpose of this place. A gentle pet might rouse him from his sudden melancholy. Good boy, Alpha. Quay. Imagine if they made Alpha a mount. So like he was normal size for like Lalafell, but for like Roganin they like scaled him up. So you're just riding on a giant Alpha. Dude, if that was a store item, I'd buy it in a second. I do not know the Crazy Chocobo song. Oh, hello. What are you two up to? He's ready for adventure. Taking in the sights, were you? And by the looks of things, you're eager to venture a little further afield. Well, if Elio has no problem with it, then neither do I. Just don't go too far, alright? Not good enough. I'm sorry, Alpha, but we're all a bit too busy to show you around the fringes right now. And I'm not too sure about sending you out there alone. When you think about it, the world is completely new to Alpha, and all he's done so far is travel back and forth between the Reach and the Yawn. I bet his head is filled with questions and curiosity. He doesn't want to be taken for a walk, he wants to go on an adventure. Wedge gets him. Alpha's not some helpless chick, Biggs. He's stronger than you or me, and I wish I was half as brave. He should be allowed to. Listen, I'm going to go talk to the chief about this. You're an employee, so there are certain rules we have to follow. I'm not saying I'm against the idea, and I'm willing to admit that Wedge has a point. But as I said, we've all got important jobs to take care of, the chief included. Can't you wait a little longer? Elio, would you mind keeping Alpha company until we get back? I promise we'll be quick. Give him the pets. Give him the pets. Give him all the hugs. Oh, dude, can you imagine if they voiced this? They'll be quick. Sorry to keep you waiting. My desk was covered in papers, but I've managed to clear away the most pressing matters. Now then, Alpha, I hear your heart's set on a journey of some kind. Blood. I want to see to be sure, but you aren't leaving because you think you tricked us into the rift, or because you're Omega's creation, or anything like that, are you? I would have stopped you if that was the case. Pure curiosity, on the other hand, is something I like to encourage. Exploring, interacting with the world, I think the experience will be good for him. Despite Omega's power, its potential to learn what was hobbled by hostile directives, Alpha, on the other hand, is free to grow as he pleases. Yeah, his animations are so good. Very well, Alpha. As the chief engineer of Garland Ironworks, I hereby grant you unlimited leave to pursue personal research. Travel far and wide, and take in everything these lands have to offer. But do come back when you're ready. I'd hate to lose such a valuable employee. Alpha, I'll miss you so much. A Lalafell and his chocobo. You be careful out there. If anyone seems suspicious or shady, you stay away from them, even if they offer you treats. And make sure to greet folks with cheerful quiz. They might not understand you, but at least they'll know you mean no harm. I'm sure you'll make new friends in no time. You just be yourself, you hear me? Ah! What in the hells? Ah, but we forgot to shut it down. This is the model Omega that Wedge and I were working on. We built it while we were resting, thinking it might be useful for figuring out strategies or something. Not much use now, I suppose. What? You want to keep it? It's just a toy that'll follow you around. If you're happy with that, then it's all yours. Yes, it's just a toy. It's absolutely just a toy. It in no way has potentially the uploaded consciousness of Omega sitting in it right now. This is really important. What we're about to see here is not only incredibly adorable and amazing, but a really important lore point. Fair journey to you, Alpha. Take care. Thank you, Elio. I'm off to see the world. That means Alpha has a soul, or is at least forming a soul. And we were able to understand it because of our echo. So after all that, going through all that, he was able to form his own soul. Is something amiss? That's strange. The Echo never allowed you to understand him before. This is just a theory, mind you, but assuming the absence of a soul is what prevented you from hearing Alpha's voice in the first place, then does it not follow that the reason you hear it now is... I forgot that they explain it. Aye, a little miracle, and it explains a sudden urge to travel. For a newborn soul, this world is brimming with unseen wonders. Look at him go, guys. He's off on his brave new adventure. It's around with him, Tam, and it comes back up in that store, in the short story and in a quest line in Endwalker. What the fuck did I miss? And so your journey begins. I almost envy you, Alpha. So many new things for you to discover. Yeah. Speaking of which, what terrible marvels can I trouble my old friend with next? I bet you Nero's gonna pop out for Eureka Orthos. Must protect him at all costs, yes. I'm going on an adventure! It literally is that meme. That's so cute. Tam, that's a great pitch for why he would be there. Of course. Yeah, Tam. Oh, that's a great... Oh, Tam, I love it. I love that so much. That's amazing. A perfect epilogue to the raid. Now you can see them around the world. Yeah. That was what a lovely epilogue. Let me real quick. Let me drop some screenshots. Oh. I may or may not have just gotten some rather good news, as it were. Quite exciting. I've died from the cute. Yes, it's quite good. Quite good. I hope Alpha enjoys his adventures. There's so much danger out there for one little chocobo. Now I'm sure he'll be fine, and dwelling on such things is not productive in the least. Why don't we discuss a happier subject, like your long-awaited bonus? We drain the coffers to fund your expedition, but why settle for coin when you can have the latest in automaton technology? That's right, we're giving you a premium mammoth, the one-of-a-kind master model for merchandise copies, constructed with our patented ironworks quality. I present to you the Clockwork Alpha! Thanks, Jesse. Whenever you bring it out of your travels, may it remind you of the real Alpha, quaying along under the some distant skies. Just the thought of it brings a smile to my face. That and the free advertising. That's literally the final line they go on. Okay, let's unlock Savage real quick and just do these lines and then we'll call them there. Initializing, welcome home, how may I assist you? Alpha does pop up in the world, and then Nero definitely pops up. Good day, valued employee. Thank you always for your tireless efforts. As part of the Savage Initiative, we bring you Phase 2 of our Mending Melodies selection, a composition designed to rejuvenate both body and spirit. The song brings to mind gentle seas, the ebb and flow of the tide, a rhythmic balm upon the exhaustion of your soul. As with our first installment, we sought the cooperation of the same illustrious minstrel for this piece. It seems he has drawn inspiration from his recent visits to the Far East. Now, close your eyes and float upon a calm ocean of music. Let your worries be carried away by the waves as they swell and recede. Swell and recede. Clear your mind and allow new vistas to unfold. Here, feel, and ponder, and their mysteries. Night, Emic! Oh, Night, Emic. I hope you feel better, man. She absolutely is Sid Stataru, yeah. Blip initializing. Welcome home. How may I assist you? This is an important lore note. Good day, valued employee. Thank you always for your tireless efforts. As part of the Savage Initiative, we bring you Phase 3 of our Mending Melodies selection. Today's composition is a beep, beep. Greetings, Alpha Group. Do not be alarmed. The recording is being transmitted the instant prior to my irreversible dissolution of form. I have already ceased to exist. My impending defeat has initiated a pinpoint analysis of mortal customs, and numerous examples throughout history demand that the victor of a contest such as we have fought in is due some manner of reward. Though my directive makes no mention of remunerations, I've calculated that the risk of neglecting long-held protocols result in a non-zero possibility of At the time of this transmission, I lack the requisite temporal and etheric resources to produce a material prize. Instead, I will provide you with an alternative of inestimable value, your combat data. It is highly probable that you already possess a record of your battle performance. As such, I have enhanced your base encounters with supplemental data to provide a more stimulating experience. These enhanced encounters would be impossible in reality, but simulations can be sufficient to nurture your continued evolution. This will be my last and only message to you. Transmission ended. Unscheduled transmission. I have learned that your automatic memory processing and data simulation function is known as dreaming. While I was unable to assimilate your self-described strength of soul, extensive observations of moral behavior has provided me with insight into suitable phrases for myriad situations. Thus, in anticipation of your forthcoming sleep cycle, I bid you good night and sweet dreams. Sweet. We did it, guys. We got Omega. So next week we got to do Return to Evil East, which holy fuck, there's gonna be a lot of. We're gonna have to like blast through that so we don't make that a 2-week thing too. Because there's so much text in that thanks to. Oh my god. Matsuno. And then we got to do the trial series too. Oh, you guys are all adorable. Enjoying the bun performance. Good job, everyone. Okay. I'm gonna stand up on the here, so that's it. Okay. So we're wrapping up there for today. Don't forget, there won't be a new video tomorrow because there's a new video today, which is the Mighty video. If you haven't seen it already, you absolutely should go. And if you could recommend it or share it with others, share it on the Reddits, the Twitters, the whatever, I would appreciate it. This is one time where I don't mind plugging and saying, hey, if you could share it on social medias and whatever, because I think it's a really important story for people to know. Beyond that, if you'd like to support us, you can support us over on Patreon by joining our membership, and then you can get your name in the tabs above, as well as in the credits of each of our videos, and also get fun rewards like Discord name colors and other rewards besides that, like stickers. And it goes a long way to making this whole thing sustainable, which takes a lot of pressure off of creating content, and I appreciate it very much. As well as you can give memberships here or super chats in the chat here for rewards as well. Beyond that, if you like written lore, you can check out our website, Eorzean.com. If you like, we also have Twitter, where we post a lot of little funny lore snippets. Obviously, on Thursday, me and Neri will be back to finishing off Final Fantasy 2, and then Friday will be Lore Book Club, and Saturday will be, well, we don't have a plan for what Saturday will be. So if people want specific help with something, make sure to send a message and over in the Discords. And if you haven't joined our Discord, absolutely go join our Discord, where you can talk to us, socialize. It's a great time. And if you'd like to join our FC, we are on Crystal Curl, and we have... and you're more than welcome to join us. You get access to all the FC rewards, as well as a fun, sociable time where people help each other leveling and all that good jazz. I think that's everything I have right now. It was a great video. Everyone watch it. Yeah, thanks, Gemini. If multiple people start looping email before you load the zone, it'll load the email synced up. Yes. Okay. I think I'm about to call it there. Who wants to see Deadpool one more time? I'll go get him if people want. Because I only did Deadpool once this stream. You know, I'll go get him. Deadpool. Deadpool. You want to come here? What? No, no. What? Oof, yeah. Oh, bonk. Good boy. High five. Thank you. Do you... Well, let's do tricks with him real quick. Definitely, you want to come here? Come here. Can you sit? Can you lay down? Can you roll up? Can you sit? Can you lay down? I don't think it's seen, but... Can you come here? Can you lay down? Can you lay down? Can you lay down? Roll up. Lay down. There you go. Oh. Good job, either way. Have a lovely evening, everyone. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Cheers.